Well, hey everybody. Hello, how's it going? Welcome to Fistivities. I'm Karyn Bryant, KB, your host. Thank you so much. Thank you. Oh my God. You guys are too kind. You know what? I'm sorry, but that's never going to get old for me. So if you think that's dorky, you're not wrong. And at the same time, I'm never gonna ever get tired of it. I just got a message. I wanted to make sure it wasn't Honato or our guest. Welcome to Fistivities episode 56. Tonight we will be joined by Michael Chiesa. I love me some Mike Mav. We've been buddies for a while now. We work together. He works the desk with me a lot over at UFC when we are calling fights and stuff and doing the pre-show and UFC Live and the post-show and stuff. So I work with him at least once a month, if not more. And I just adore this guy. So we met a long time ago. We'll talk about it, I'm sure. We met at the media day for his season of The Ultimate Fighter. So that's quite some time ago. We have a lot in common. And I just really, I love this guy. So we have a lot of fun working together. Really excited to get Chiesa on. And I'm doing the hand thing because Chiesa is a hand talker. So this is going to be a lot of fun, a lot of fun, a lot of fun. But hey, yeah, Marcos Martinez, yeah, let's get it. I agree. And Ray Torres saying my profile pic looking fire. Well, thank you for that. What up, Aloha Shigartark? Am I saying these names right? Sometimes I read them and I'm a little reckless. I'm not going to lie. I realize that. What's up, T.O. or Toe? What up? Hey, hey, hey. What up? Yeah, brown chicka, brown, brown chicka, brown cow, brown chicka, brown now. Yeah, all of that. So listen. Okay, so it's great to see everybody here. And yeah, so again, Michael Chiesa will be joining us and Renato Laranja will be along, whenever he comes along. He is on Brazilian time. He is on favela time. And that's not, I'm not trying to be disrespectful. It's not a pejorative term. It's just facts. Favela time, I do believe, runs a little bit behind. He's probably, all of his appliances run on extension cords. We know about the Cricket Wi-Fi. So I don't have a lot of faith in his clocks is all I was trying to say there. But I tell you what, let's do. Let me tell you what is on the show today. I do have the hit list for today. So we're going to have a Michael Chiesa interview. As I've already mentioned, we work together and, he is a welterweight. This weekend at UFC 280, we do have Bilal versus one of his former opponents, Sean Brady. So we can talk to Mike about that fight and just some stuff in general. But obviously, I work with him a lot, and I know he's really into sort of predicting fights. He loves to make his predictions for that. And also, I want to talk to him about a news story that just broke. I'm getting a little ahead of myself saying we're going to have MMA news. But it was just recently announced or sort of made clear that fighters will no longer be able to bet on fights. And Mike loves to do that. In fact, we always have Mavericks moneymakers and stuff on the show. So it'll be interesting. I'm curious about his take on that. I'm sure he's pretty bummed out. I don't think he bets on his own fights, but he likes to sometimes put some money down on a parlay, because that's kind of fun. At any rate, we'll talk to Chiesa. Listen, we're going to have some reactions and recap of UFC Vegas 62 this past weekend, where Alexa Grasso was victorious over Viviane Araujo in the main event. Our buddy Cub Swanson, unfortunately, was not victorious. Jonathan Martinez with a great fight, a great strategy. The leg kicks really did a lot. So he was victorious in the co-main event. So we will get to that. I got some fighter B-roll and some fights action for that. And looking ahead, we will talk about UFC 280 and we can get into some of those fights. So we do have a Cheaty's choice for the main event and co-main event, the two title fights. And speaking of Cheaty correctly picked the last fight again. He picked Alexa Grasso over Viviane Araujo. So Cheaty's record, I believe, is 8-1. And so we will get Cheaty's thoughts on the two. Okay. Honato says he'll be here in a few minutes. So, okay, Honato. At any rate, I'm glad at least he got a signal in the favela. Alexa Grasso, like I said, Chidi did pick that one correctly. So he's literally like 8-1 right now. And so he made his picks for this weekend. I know what he picked. And I'm curious to see what you guys think about it. So we will get those. Then also, we're going to get into, you know how we like to talk about relationship stuff here. It's a lot to unpack. Olivia Wilde, the actress, great actress, also directing films now, was formerly married to Jason Sudeikis of Ted Lasso fame. Love that show. Anyway, they're getting a divorce. Anyway, she's now dating Harry Styles. Anyway, something came out this week about her special salad dressing. We're going to get into the salad dressing. We're going to get into maybe if you have a special aphrodisiac meal for your beloved or your desired beloved. We'll get into some stuff about that is all I want to say. Then we'll also talk about MMA news and obviously some of the big news coming out that Dana's Power Slap League is going to be going on, and that got approval, so we can talk about that and some other things as well. So yeah, a big show. There's a lot to go. See, so Shiger Tark saying the gecko's going to put him in gator boots. I think that means you're making money with Chidi. And yeah, like I said, Chidi's picks are kind of money right now. I think I randomize as much as I can with that. We know Chidi has a tendency to go to the right. So I think I'm going to put the piles of arugula even closer together, but he has gone to the left sometimes. So that's why I randomize it all. He's good. He's really good at picking fights. He's literally like 8-1 right now. Okay. Here's a question. Sports Bank saying, do you know how they decide the rankings? I am looking forward to Charles versus Islam, but I still can't figure out how Islam is ranked number 4. He didn't fight anyone in the top 10, did he? You know, I will say this about the rankings. I don't know if they're still doing. They were formerly done by a group of, let's say, a group of people. Some were media people. Some were. It's a variety rather of people. I have been asked to be on the board of rankings. I actually had turned it down because I felt I was too close to the action. I felt like I wouldn't necessarily always be able to divest myself from the situation emotionally. I'm being completely honest. A lot of these people are my really good friends. So I didn't want to be in a position of helping determine the rankings when I might have let's say a covert motive or something like that. Or I knew that, hey, if my friend were ranked this way, that could benefit them that way, or all the various subtleties and things that could go in there. I just didn't want to be part of it. I didn't want to be part of it. But the rankings are, let's just say, fluid sometimes. And sometimes people would maybe, if there's a big important fight looming, let's say maybe they know a fight is going to be a title eliminator, maybe somebody would then start to think about a person differently when they ranked them the next week. I don't know. There's a lot that goes into it. Let's just say it's not a perfect science. And for a lot of people, for those who at least who do approach it with integrity and who want to be good about it, I applaud them. I can't say that everybody does what I did and divest from it if they felt like they were going to maybe be prejudicial or biased at all. That's just me. So I'm not part of it. But I was asked and I said no. So yeah, that's the whole thing. I talk to all the fighters. I know them. I work with them. I know a lot about what's going on, and I just didn't feel like, yeah. Okay. So anyway, okay. Well, anyway, Omega, it's good to know that you always go to the right, whatever. But yes, yeah. That is so listen, is this weekend's card of the year? I suppose potentially it could be, right? Hopefully everything stays intact. Everybody made it to Abu Dhabi. I'm trying to think, it's funny when a lot of time when you look back on card of the year type things, there was another, there was another pay-per-view or something that was pretty good, right? And then there was one card where there was like all finishes. There have been some great cards of the year already, some great contenders. So I guess it sort of depends maybe on what your criteria is for that kind of thing. But it feels like there's an embarrassment of riches for card of the year. So there is that going on. At any rate, that's what I mentioned, that we will get to some stuff this week. So on the show tonight, but last week we talked to Dustin Jacoby, and he is fighting next weekend at UFC Vegas 63. He's fighting Khalil Roundtree, who is another former guest of ours as well. But you should go back and listen to Justin's episode if you missed it at all last week, because he does talk a lot about the fight upcoming, and just also talks about fighting for Glory Kickboxing, talks about, just sort of his early days. He's somebody who was in the UFC, then was out of the UFC and came back to the UFC. So a good episode with Dustin Jacoby. And I just today, before the show, made available. So I've also been uploading these. We are available as an audio podcast as well on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, and Amazon Music. And so I've been uploading some of the older episodes. So just before the show today, I uploaded episode number 7 with our good friend Josh Barnett. And the reason I did that is because it's a Halloween themed episode. We spoke to him last year around about this time, and we talked to him a lot about horror movies, sort of like, heavy metal music, death metal, like all kinds of stuff. And made sure, and even though it's out of order and all this stuff, made sure I got that one uploaded so that you guys can check it out, because we may in fact try to have Josh on again. Maybe it should just be an annual thing to talk Halloween type horror stuff with our good friend Josh. But regardless, the last one is up with him now. It's actually a really long episode. We went deep. That's what she said, about horror movies and some of our favorite things. And we just had a really great time. He's an old friend of both Honato's and mine. So a really good time with Josh Barnett. Speaking of a really good time, we were having one. All good things must come to an end. Although I can say maybe, in fact, we're hitting the reset button, hitting the go button, taking it up a notch. Ladies and gentlemen, from the favelas of Hollywood, let's welcome in 27-time World Jiu-Jitsu champion, Mr. Renato Laranja. Hi.
Look at that one. We're taking it up a notch.
A notch.
Okay.
We're taking it up a notch. Listen. That was a good.
You're already testing my patience with that fucking thing.
Hi.
Hi. Well,
How are you?
Let me let the people enjoy. Okay. I'm wow. I'm here. I have my brand new Barrett Yoshida shirt. This is one of the legends of Jiu-Jitsu community. And of course, when he have his new shirt where he's choking out a random Caucasian gentleman with his belch, he wanted to give to your Uncle Hanach. He wanted to pay tribute to give that one. He almost looked like your Uncle Hanach there, administering that one, but he's an Asian gentleman.
Okay. It's nice. You look good. How's my lady last week? I said you were going to say you. I was going to say you said I was a little dim.
Yeah, but that's why I just turned it down a little bit. Yeah, you was.
Is mine too bright now?
No, but check this out. I'll go even brighter.
I think look at good. I think
the systems I have.
You know what I realized what it was, Honato? I think what it was is when you wear a white shirt or a light shirt, like then it also starts to mess with the lighting. And I don't usually wear a white shirt. I think it had to do with what I was wearing, and then it was kind of messing with the white balance and stuff.
Like in Glenn Haas, you excuses are your own. Get them to sign on the line which is dotted. It's fuck or
ABC always be closing.
And what's the other fucking one? He have one that's like AIDA or something. It's like attention, interest. Attention. Do I have your attention?
Do I have your attention?
I know I do because it's fuck or what. Interest. Right. Are you interested? And then it goes something, and then it goes D. It goes, have you made your decision for Christ? I mean, caralho, I watch. Funny enough, sometimes I use movies the same way. Like, you know how parents put their kids to sleep with like something like a mobile and have different sounds or something. Sometimes I put myself to sleep from a movie I feel comfortable with. You know what I mean? So I get under there with my phone and
dude, I go to sleep watching Dexter at night. Old reruns of Dexter.
Oh, Dexter. Well, that's because you want to have dreams about that guy.
It's a little weird. I'm not gonna lie, but yeah, it's familiar to me. I like it. I know it. I go to sleep to it.
Yeah, it can be like Adderall. For somebody, it might hype them up or make them scared. For you, it make you feel tired. Yeah. So, for me, but Glenn Haas is handing a lot in that movie. So also the hand. And then the sadness of Levine. Oh.
See, Levine, I wouldn't be able to go to sleep to that one because I like it too much. I would stay awake because it's so good. For those who don't know, Honato and I have done a whole Glenn Ross thing. I've even isolated that clip on my YouTube, so people should go back and look for that because, I know how you feel. I love that. You know what, Honato? Our guest is already here.
Oh, God, are you? Well, maybe he's seen Glenn Haas.
Yeah. I wasn't sure because, he's training. And so I wasn't sure at what point he was going to pop in, but we got him now already. Listen, folks, I already said at the beginning of the show how much I just adore this guy. I have a blast. I get to work with him at least once a month. He's mental. I'm not going to lie. He's totally mental. But he's my kind of mental. Please, ladies and gentlemen, welcome the number 12 UFC welterweight, Mr. Michael Chiesa.
Oh, Chiesa.
Hey, baby.
What's up, guys? How you guys doing?
How are you?
Oh,
I'm good. I'm good.
Look at that. Look at this guy.
Look at it.
The beard is even more majestic.
It's because I have time off, so I can like get scruffy again for a little bit. So I'm kind of like, I'm like letting my hair grow out, letting my beard grow out.
You like a Harvard Headford in Jeremiah Johnson. Jeremiah Johnson.
Yeah. I like that comparison.
Yeah. Hey, listen, Michael, I'm loving your satellite link up. For folks who don't know, Mike lives up in Washington. And when we were at work a couple weeks ago, your missus had just was unboxing this new setup. It looks good. You look great.
It's like a huge moment for us in this household. Like I've lived here since 2015. She moved in like a year and a half after that. It's like people are like, oh, have you guys watched Euphoria or like the new House of Dragons or whatever? And I'm like, I watch the news and sports. Yeah. So now we got internet. Now I can I have a little higher definition when I'm doing these types of things, which is nice.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. Better than Honato's cricket, Marlon.
Hey, listen, Karyn. I think you fall, to be honest here. You don't want me to upstage that.
I was like eavesdropping and Karyn saying like how she goes to sleep watching Dexter. I'm like, do you have weird fantasies of killing people or like what's going on there?
No. And I know it's it is a weird choice. I know, but if you think about the pacing of that show, it's actually pretty slow paced and kind of mellow. And the music is down tempo, and and granted, some of it is like out in sunny Miami, but a lot of it is kind of gloomy and mellow. So
yeah,
I prefer Glenn Haas. You ever seen that, Chiesa?
Who's that? Who's Glenn Gary? Am I missing out? Do I need to add this on my huge? Do I have to add this on my huge list of things I need to watch?
Yes,
but it's a movie. At least it's not a series. You don't have to invest all kind of time. But it have it. Fuck. I mean, you have a. It's based on a play, so it feels almost like a play,
Oh, okay.
And it's got fucking Al Pacino, Jack Lemmon. Kevin Spacey, God rest his soul or his career or whatever.
Yeah, no kidding.
Alec Baldwin, God rest his career.
No kidding. He's a real straight shooter.
Alec Baldwin, Alan Arkin, fucking Ed Harris, Jonathan fucking Price. I mean,
it's stacked.
It's a classic.
It's so good.
You're a smart guy, so you're gonna understand this fucking stuff.
You'll love it, Mike.
You're gonna enjoy that one.
It's all talking, and it's fast talking, it's deal making, it's busting balls. It's like you'll love it.
He had me at Al Pacino, and I like Jack Lemmon.
I mean,
too.
And it's one of his. It's one of his performances that's almost just bordering on over the top, but it's like, mwah, you know.
And I was going to say nuanced because it's like a balance of a nuanced Pacino in certain in the Chinese restaurant when he's unfolding the pamphlet. That's the nuance.
And so it's an older movie. Is this
it's from like 1992.
Okay.
It's so good. It's so good. It's so good. Hey, so listen, Mike, you are training, and I forget, I forget sometimes what I know because I know it at work and I'm not supposed to say anything.
Yeah.
Or what's like out in public notice. Like,
Yeah.
So what's going on with you in terms of fighting? When are you fighting next?
I guess at some point I got to come out and talk about it, but I just, so after the Sean Brady fight, I promised my wife, then fiance, I'll take time off before the wedding. We had a lot of planning to do, and she pretty much ended up planning the whole thing anyways, but she just wanted me to be a little more present. Mm-hmm. And I'm not present when I'm in training camp. I'm solely focused on one person, one task, one goal. And in the midst of all that, I started thinking about wanting to fight again. I just kind of started getting the itch, not really good at marinating on 2 losses, too competitive for that. So I started training again, and I ended up having a very severe disc herniation, my L3, L4. And it's just been a battle since, so I'm really starting to kind of come out of this thing. I feel like, I did a lot of epidurals over the summer. I did some nerve ablations. Was pretty close to going to see a surgeon, and God bless Heather Linden at the PI. She got me this special MRI that they usually do only on NFL players that literally took an image of like from my sternum down to my feet, so they could just see like there's got to be irregularities in my body, or they're causing this to happen, because I would start to get better from the back injury and I'd re-injure it, and it literally like put me in bed for multiple weeks at a time. So I feel like we're getting out of the woods with this. We got some answers, so now it's about like, let's train, let's build myself back into this. And I'm confident to say, I think that I'll have something booked. I'd like to think within the next month. I think within the next month we'll find out. But I've been raring to go. The division's moving. It's exciting. There's been a lot of big fights that have happened. The titles shifted around. Yep. Guys are starting to fade out of the picture. New blood's coming into the picture. And I still feel like I'm just in that in between. I'm an established vet, but I'm not over the top. I'm raring to go on another title run. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, it must be driving you crazy to watch all this exciting shit's going on. Huh?
It is, and the thing that drives me nuts more is it's like, I think that like with how much I'm doing, the LFA stuff, the pre and post fight shows, UFC roundup. I think a lot of people just think I'm retired, but like I haven't retired, and I'm like, no, I'm just not the guy that posts training footage every single day. I'm still doing my job. I'm still hungrier than I've ever been. Just waiting to make sure, I'm not old, but it's like this type of problem. I just can't like put a Band-Aid on it and run it back into a training camp. It's like, I have to address this if I want to have a long career. Not that it hasn't been long enough already, but.
Did you address the problem? Like, did you fix it now?
We're starting to figure out what it is. Yeah, there's certain things I got to stop doing to myself, and it's time to start training smarter. Like, I know how to train hard. I think you can attest to this, Renato. Like, when it comes to competing, it's easy to train hard, but the older you get, it's harder to train smart because you have to be honest with yourself. So I'm learning that now. I'm in that phase. I got to be honest with myself. We got to adjust how we're going to do this to make the most out of it and have as many years as I possibly can in the rest of my fighting career.
Well, when you get to be seasoned like myself, well, age to perfection. But the problem is, what the problem is? The recovery. The recovery become a problem. It reminds me of drinking. Mm-hmm. When I was 20, I could drink 10 fucking fifths of, bum wine and I could drink any 40s and all kind of shit. And then you wake up the next day like headed to hock, Now you can do that if you want at this age, but you're gonna pay the piper for like 3-4 days. You still gonna take your while to come back.
That's so true.
One thing, of course, this stuff, but we all do the stretching routines beforehand, but very few of us discipline ourselves to actually check the boring time after the training because you want to jump in the shower, you want to go eat, or you want to talk shit with your boys. But to actually do a whole routine afterward can make you feel like $1 million fucking bucks the next day,
one of the best, one of the best blessings I get with this other part of my career, like working with you and all this time I get to brush shoulders with guys like DC, Michael Bisping, Paul Felder, is I hear from them, like, because they're a few years older than me, and I hear from them like, hey, you're 34, this is what you need to do right now that I wish I would have done when I was your age. So, like, having access to those guys and having them be like, dude, this is, I wish I could go back in time and have done this, because I could have feel like I got another year or two out of my career. So it's fortunate to have those type of people around to kind of pick at them for advice in situations like this.
It's so true. It's funny because I literally was just playing tennis today, and even just for me, recreationally, had the exact same conversation with my friend about stretching after, because nobody wants to do it. Like, you get and there you're like on a cement, basically cement hard court, and you're just like, oh, F it, and then I go about my day, and I'm like, yeah, I need to stretch.
Well, it's a very similar situation to what he's dealing with. You know, when he's had people trying to beat his brains in and break his arm, legs.
Yeah.
There drinking a Voss water and doing your tennis.
Or kombucha. Kombucha is always good too.
Oh, wait, what's this now?
This fixes my soda craving, and it's not a sponsor, so I shouldn't even put a name. I don't want to give it shine, but it's like tastes like soda, but it's like kombucha.
Ah, that's the kombucha.
Yeah, it's nice.
Listen, you know what? Not for nothing, Mike. When publicizing the fact that you were going to be on the show, more than a couple people said they would love to see the two of you guys roll together.
I would love nothing more than that.
Yeah. And so, you know, because you guys are about the same size. Like, that would be fun.
Absolutely.
I'm surprised that haven't happened. I'm surprised that I haven't run into you, because there's so much fucking connection. It's kind of crazy that we've never been in the same room together.
It's in due time. It's
one of these days. It's gonna make you're gonna wait for it for so long that it's gonna be so you're gonna be starving for that one. Yeah.
Hey, listen, you just did this, Honato. Hey, listen, Mike.
I fucking these things. Hey. I'm keeping them contained right now. You know, I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest with you, Karyn. When I'm working the desk show, I can't, use my natural ADD medication to get me under control, so you're probably like, wow, this is the longest I've seen Mike talk without going fucking like this with my hands all over the place. I can't fucking control them sometimes.
I heard that they tried to beat it out of you, you Italian hoots, and you have to leave that once. That's what makes you yourself.
I can't help it. It's just like, when I can come home, ease the tensions, and get on my meds, I'm fine. But like when I'm at the desk and I'm like, these things, Karyn's like, they keep Karyn like an extra foot away from me, because I'll fly this arm over and
smack her
out
of
her chair. She's a Karyn, and she's gonna complain. She's gonna be like, "You can't use your hands like that,
They'll play jokes with me. They'll be like, "Hey, Mike, try not to use your hands in this next segment," and I'll put them on the desk, and I'll be like,
just sweating.
My shoulders will start twitching, and I'm like, can't speak right.
Oh, so you grew up in a very Italian household, huh?
Yeah. So my dad's a full-blooded Italian. So, so I got family, across the pond and on the East Coast and stuff. So it's
where on the East Coast?
Long Island. Long Island, New Jersey. Long Island, New Jersey.
Listen, that's the heel deal. That's like that style.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we got them all from the East Coast to Italy. We're all, and Florida as well.
Plus for you were on the same season as our boy Chiesa. I mean, not Chiesa, Iaquinta, obviously.
Oh, my boy, Strong Island, stand up.
Iaquinch.
Iaquinch.
A former guest of this show too, Iaquinch.
Iaquinch was great. He was.
He's a funny guy.
He's a funny guy. All those fucking guys over there. Hey, Longo, if you interview that guy, he's a fucking. He'll have you dying. And same with Matt Sarah or whatever. Oh God.
Oh, they're the best. They're the best. When I go visit my cousin on Long Island, I always make a pit stop in there, and it's just like. You Ray, it's like, hey, yo, you motherfucker, how you doing, Chiesa? How's your boy Cecilia doing? Like it's just like straight out of a movie. It's like I'm walking into the deli. You walking into Matt, Sarah, and Ray's gym. It's like walking into the Italian deli. A lot of habis, get a gabagoo.
Well, that's what
F-bombs are all over the place.
Hey, Longo, it's like I always have this fantasy that he's like a Sal from Do the High Thing, and like he started a fucking fight camp with all just guys from the neighborhood came in, and he's teaching
right
at his pizzeria. You know what I mean?
It's a pizzeria.
Yeah, this is my pizzeria, and Italian Americans only.
Give him some of that family recipe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't be allowed there.
Yeah.
They wouldn't let me there. They'd want me, but they wouldn't let me in. They'd pretend they didn't want me there, but they wouldn't let me in.
Why? Because you're from Boston? I'm kidding.
There's that too. It's hilarious. No, it's so funny though, because I was saying before, like we get to work together about at least once a month or whatever. Mm-hmm. But it is crazy because we first met at Media Day for your season of The Ultimate Fighter. So when we talk about Aya Quinch and Sam Page, all these guys, it was back in. It's crazy to think that we met then. And it's sometimes, I'm not gonna lie, like sometimes I do look at us at work. Same thing with like Al, like all of us, and I'm really. I don't know if you like, I'm very proud of you. Like, I'm very proud of you, how far you've come and everything. And you do such a great job. But like, I have a lot of joy when I'm there with you guys. It's like, it's pretty awesome.
It's fun to see what it's involved into, It's obviously like, as the sports progress, it's opened up opportunities to do things like this for yourself. And then for fighters like me, going from the Fox deal into ESPN. But yeah, it is just cool to look back and just see how far we've came. Like Media Day when I met you, and then like I work with Alan a lot. I feel like I work with him, probably him and Dean the most. Yeah. And like I met Alan at a UFC Fighter Summit, and I think that's when they both kind of spotted us, because like when it came down to when they're talking about like possible opportunities for like media type stuff and broadcasting, me and Alan were like front of the class, pens in hand, like glued to the people speaking to us. So like. It's cool. It's cool how far along we've all came, for sure. Yeah,
I know Alan since when he was just doing it for like cardio or whatever. You know what I mean? Like
right.
And that's I know crazy. He's had his eye on that shit for a long time. Doing that. So it's good to see that.
Yeah, and he's got the face for it. Guy sits at the desk. I'm like, good God.
Does he? I don't know. I haven't noticed.
He hasn't gotten any. He doesn't look any older. Like me, I got gray coming in all over the place. I got crow's feet.
Yeah.
I could probably use a little Botox here, or something. But...
No. If you get it, then I'll have to get it, and I don't want to get it. So
my wife, she's trying to convince me to do that. I can't believe I'm going to put this on the public. She's probably back there laughing right now. She's like, your buddy Chad does it. You should just do it. I'm like,
don't get started.
A lot of fighters do, because you guys do get punched in the face. I get it.
Yeah.
Or he tired or something. Don't fuck
But don't do it, because if you do it, then I got to do it. And
next thing you know, I'm gonna get fillers. My lips.
Now, don't do it, my brother. You're gonna have the fucking same lips like every other. You're gonna have a fake ass on that shit.
You wouldn't be able to see it anyways, because my top lip's covered.
Yeah, but then you're just gonna shave this part.
Hey, look at Elmo Duran though, saying, Michael, that your beard has come a long way though.
Thanks, man. I think that it's kind of like it's been out of the limelight for the last few years, because I've been having it. I sold out for television, so I had to keep my room.
Right now, you have that 1984 Kenny Loggins style.
Oh, I like Kenny. I like me some Kenny Loggins.
Yeah.
You're not going to see me for 6 weeks. You're not going to see me for 6 weeks either. You know that, right?
What was that?
Karyn, she's not, because I usually see her once a month, and I had to change. Yeah, I'm not working November 5th, so you won't see me till December.
Wait, until Florida?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, I know. And I think you have Penny at the desk in November, which sucks because I won't be there for that. But
okay, wait a minute. Time the F out. Okay, so I'm working next weekend with Lionheart and Alan, I think.
Yeah.
And then I was supposed to work with you, but you're bailing.
I had
November 5th?
I had something come up, and I heard Julie told me at least that she was going to be doing the desk. So that's kind of what she said.
I didn't hear that. That's cool. That'll be fun.
Probably the same way Aljo kind of came in as like a third, fourth wheel.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, we should talk about that your good friend Julie. I was talking to Honato about this earlier, and I was like, no. Don't you remember when Mike, but like after Julie won the title, when she beat Amanda?
The bum rush. The one with the scar. Let me see. I have a scar from it. Let me see. Not that side, maybe this side. One of these sides,
Where is it?
I have a little nick from when I ran into the camera guy. No shame. I own that. That's the one thing. I've never been in law trouble. I've never been arrested. It's like the one time I've really gotten out of line in my life, and I fucking own it. I'm proud of that because that was a great moment for us.
I forgot about it because I don't think of you as someone who would get in trouble like that.
No.
I attribute it to some other guy. You know what I mean? And that's right. That was him.
Yeah, that was exciting to say the least. What a rush. I mean, I wish I could remember. I remember the fight, but the in-between stuff, from the time it ended till, Ooh, good times. Hey.
I've been around her, Karyn Bryant, when she's buzzed a little bit,
Yeah.
And, but I've never seen her just shit-faced. What kind of drunk is she?
She's a fun drunk, but usually, like, by the time she gets there, like, I'm usually there too. So it's like, it's hard to say. I haven't really got to sit back and like observe type of situation. Like if I go out and have drinks, I'm in camp, I'll still go out, like not drink and just kind of hang out with everybody. That's when I get a better assessment. But usually like if I'm having drinks with Karyn, we're going to be on the same pace. So by the time she's like totally tuned up, I'm like, I'm like UFC, what was that, 269? I'm like UFC 269 mode, or that was when Julie fought,
I just think of us in Fight Island, and I think that might have been the most tanked we were at this, because it's like one of those, how when you like remember being drunk, like you remember you were really drunk, and then you don't really remember a lot of things.
You don't remember the detail.
And that was. I mean, the times I drank on Fight Island were like, it was too much fun. And it was also mixed in with some like boredom. Like I'm like, oh God, I'm having so much fun, but I'm bored. There's nothing to do. I have no more homework to do. There's nothing I can do. Kelsey's asleep because it's like on a 12-hour time change. I can't. So I'm just gonna get drunk, and then the next thing you know, we're like,
that's like if
10 sheets to the wind.
Yeah. I know. That's like if you go to an island for a vacation or something like that. There's nothing to really fucking do. You're just on the beach hanging around. You get fucked up the whole time.
Yeah, we did, and it's like that was the second. So I wasn't there for the first Fight Island stint. I was there for the second, the third.
Right.
And by the time the second one came around, they were like, no more racetrack, limited beach, tightening it up. And then by the time I went there the third time, they were like, stay in your fucking room. Don't you dare leave. Like every little thing that we had, somebody got hurt or somebody spoiled, so.
Right.
Yeah. Of course, all the other people got to fuck it up somehow. Yeah.
It always
is somebody. So listen, Honato, I should tell you, Michael is recently married.
Yeah. Fresh.
It was just this summer. So he is a newlywed. He is in the honeymoon phase still.
HIP, you was a heel. That's in paradise, King.
Yeah, it's all over from here, right?
Your body is decomposed. Is the and then Higa March. Then you get Higa March, where you think you're happy in the veg, but it's just Higa March. It's just the convulsion.
Man.
No, and he had a cool it wasn't necessarily a themed wedding, right, Mike? But it was definitely you brought the whole fighter element into it. I mean, that's the cool thing is that your beautiful bride knows who she married.
Yeah, I mean, we were best friends for like 5 years beforehand, so she knew. So it's been like 10 years we've known each other.
Was it an Italian wedding at least?
No, dude. I've been to enough Italian weddings. I'm Catholic and I hate mass. I don't like going to church for 3 hours. It takes too much of my Sunday. It's boring. And I respect, the powers that be. But so for a wedding, I want it to be fun. Like every single person I've talked to that came has all said the same thing collectively, and that was the funnest wedding I've ever been to in my life. And that was the whole point, because weddings are like, you enjoy the reception and that's it. We're like, for us, everyone's like, from the time the ceremony started, there was just fun things, and they all kind of revolved around, fighting, and it wasn't corny. It's not like we, got married in a cage and we put the gloves on and fought, which would have been.
God, are you? Pictures with,
no, it was nothing like that. It was and
the toasts. I can't stand if I hear another fucking toast. Where it's like, and this guy, remember when I first met? Oh, I didn't care for this guy, but now, oh, he's my kid. You know what I mean?
None of that BS.
Yeah.
But no, it was fun. Like I walked out, like, you know, usually the bride just does her little walkout, and I walked out to my walkout song for all my fights, and they turned the lights off, so everyone got pumped up. And then
wait, what's your song?
Stranglehold by Ted Nugent.
Oh, caralho, the Nuge. I like this.
The Nuge
style of Hawk. Yeah, I don't know the Nuge personally, but
he's a crazy guy. I don't know him either, but he seems pretty nuts, if you ask me.
But he does some good stuff. I mean,
yeah.
Wait, what was I gonna say? Yeah, weddings, it can be fun. I mean, especially if the bridesmaids is receptive to your Uncle Honato.
Oh yeah, there's a couple good ones you missed, buddy. There's a couple.
Maybe on the reunion, like when you do the anniversary, I'm going. Yeah,
renew our vows.
Yeah,
maybe
you can be the stripper or whatever.
If I renew the vows, why don't you what's the guy? Why don't you become the ordained minister?
Yeah, you want to know something?
It's not a great idea.
Listen, Karyn Bryant, pipe down, climb up over there. I've had to talk people out of asking me to marry them because I'm like, listen, it's like a tattoo or something. I'm like, you're gonna regret. Listen, I know you want this.
That's a jinx if ever.
You don't want this. You know what I mean? Like, just think about this. And if you think about it and you ask everybody and you sit on it, they sleep on it. And I don't think it's a great idea, guys. But it's okay, yes, because you know what you're getting into. Yeah.
But vows are different, so we should have you do it.
I don't like that one. I'm gonna come and do that, and I'm gonna avail myself to the bridesmaids. They deserve that.
Girls.
For all they did. You
know, they don't deserve it though. They actually don't deserve that.
I think they do. I think I agree with you.
You give flasks or something dumb to the guys or whatever, but the girls, they get a little something. What do they get? A bag or some shit?
These guys all got gloves. They all got really nice boxing gloves.
I got top boxer in New Mexico. I paid to have custom boxing gloves, and so they were white, and then they had gold stitching, or mine had the gold stitching. Theirs was black, so it was white leather gloves, and then it said the Chiesa wedding on the left hand, and then it had their name on the right. And so we took like that was the only thing where the gloves were kind of incorporated. We took photos with them, but they weren't a part of the wedding, you know. So it was like a cool gift that, like, I have flasks, I have lighters, and that's fine. You know, it's all about what they symbolize.
How depressing is it when you're cleaning your house and you come across old stupid gifts like a deck of cards or some fucking dumb shit from somebody,
or a shot glass? I have a You would think I'm an alcoholic. I have 1,000 shot glasses in my house.
But you know how, like, you look at these and like every single one of them is divorced now, and you're like, ooh, caray. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I'm trying to think what I gave out. What's my defunct party? I mean, we gave out the Jordan almonds and all these things, but yeah, I didn't do shot glasses.
You gave out almonds?
Jordan almonds.
What
kind of
like ones you eat?
No. But that's part of the thing. Is the almonds are always part of the little thing on the table setting.
The little thing that's high.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, because they're supposed to represent fertility or something. But like you always put, like, the Jordan almonds are always part of the whatever.
That makes sense.
What's the opposite of that? That's what I'm gonna give out. What's the opposite?
Well, Michael, you guys aren't planning to have kids, right?
No, it's just not really something we really
look at now. You're now Honato's like my guy.
Yeah.
He thinks this because now you're speaking my language, my brother.
I'm selfish, man. I like to golf a lot. I like to train a lot. I like to snowboard a lot. It's just like to have my life just like, and there's nothing wrong with people that have kids. They're great. I love being around my nieces and nephews. I don't mind teaching kids classes. I just think when it comes to like my time, I just would rather have it be me, my wife, and my dogs. And we're totally okay with that.
The doggies
yeah.
is the best.
They're the best.
Yeah. As I say that, I hear one of my fucking cats over there, like, vomiting in the fucking corner over here. Pipe down over there.
Hey, so Mike, I gotta ask. Since you're here, and I'm gonna have you put on your analyst hat for a second, but like,
I would love to.
So our teammate, because he works with us sometimes, our buddy Bilal is fighting a former opponent of yours in Sean Brady. Who do you think wins that fight?
Ooh, that's a really tough fight because it's a tough fight to call. I can predict how it's going to end. I just can't predict who. I do think the fight goes 3 rounds. I think a lot of people would think I'm going to say that because a lot of people are jumping out saying these guys, the casuals, oh, these guys are boring. They're not boring. They just fight top. They think they just fight top. When you fight the top of the heap, what people don't realize, just a little side note, when you get to the top of the heap, the chances of a finish are a lot more challenging. So sometimes these guys don't have these back and forth barn burner brawls or these crazy finishes because the skill levels are so equally matched. Yeah. And I think with that being said, this is a very equally skilled match. I think the striking edge definitely goes to Belal. He's a lot more volume. He touches you with a lot of stuff to where you want to open up, and it opens up opportunities for him to shoot. And then you got a guy in Sean Brady who I think he's the more powerful striker. I think he's stronger, but he has the grappling edge. And I will say this, I'm not sure when it comes to applying myself into my prediction for this with my prior experience with Sean. I don't know if he was that strong or if I just gave him too much respect. Because once I started to just say, screw it, I got to go for it, get the finish, I was able to kind of break free and have that 3rd round that I did. So it's a tough fight to call. I think the one X factor is Belal is training with the right people. Like he is training with Khabib and that whole team. And I mean, there's guys that we probably don't even know who they are that he's training with that are absolute killers. Like so
from the Caucasus Mountain.
From the mountains of Caucasus. But so and he's been there longer too. So there's things Belal is
acclimated, right? He's been there for like 3 weeks.
He's been there for 3 weeks. He's doing every possible thing he knows he needs to do to win this fight because stylistically, this is a hard matchup because we haven't seen Belal face a guy that is a better wrestler than he is. And he has been shining as of late with his wrestling. So we'll see what happens. It's a tough fight to call. It's a really, I mean, for me, if I'm just going to jump out and say it, I love Belal, but it's like usually you ride with your former opponents. Like whether someone's beat you or you beat them, you always want them to move on and have success because it makes you look better. So
true, of course.
You know, it's like, if a guy beats me, it's like, I hope you win the world title so I can say at least he became world champ.
Totally. Only lose to the best. Exactly.
Listen, I mean, to be honest, when I look at the 2 of those guys, I look at Brady and I just think this guy there's something scary about that guy. Not for your Uncle Hanach, mind you, but for most human beings. But the one stuff that he don't have that I could give Belal that you can't pay for, you can only get it one way. That's experience. Yeah. So that's the one thing that keep me from just like placing the money on Sean Brady. I feel like the experience, no matter who he's training with now or whatever, I feel like when you've been there and did that, just like we were saying about Mackenzie Dunn, it's like she's so ahead of schedule with how she's performing, all this good stuff. But the one thing she have the challenge, she got the athleticism, the pedigree, the whatever. Yeah. She need experience, and it's gonna come. But that Belal, that's the only thing. He's a very crafty SOB over there. Yeah,
and for him, if Brady fades, Belal, he will pass him. And Brady faded really bad in our fight. He says it was the nose break, but like, who knows? That's just your first taste of the top of the heap. Like, and he got the best of me. Hats off to him. But if you get tired against Belal, it's going to be like an avalanche coming down on you. So we'll see what happens. That's true. 2 X factors in that fight. It's a tough one. It's to me the toughest fight to call in the card.
Brady's a very muscular guy too. I mean, that does have it has its advantage and its disadvantage, when it comes
it does, but it's true because I agree that Belal's doing all the right things by training with Khabib and doing everything and being over there and getting acclimated and all of that. But and to your point, Honato, like with Belal, and this might sound silly, but literally with the discipline he's had to show with fighting during Ramadan in the past and his training, you can't mentally break Belal. Like you're not gonna, you know what I mean? Wear him out. You're not gonna make him tired. Like that part of the game, I very much feel Belal has on lock, that mental part of a game. Just because of the sacrifice he has to give so often.
Take it from me. Sean when you have the muscles of Sean, listen, for me, sometimes I get tired even through these fucking interviews and stuff like that. I'm
tired of you, so I feel.
You know what? That was distaste. Look at the trapezoid. Look at the physique and some Chinese. All that. and
I get it, but to be fair, Sean Brady, though, I do feel represents the next wave, right?
Oh,
like
yeah.
the Pifers, the guys that he's training with, those guys we know are the next wave. So for all of the lamenting we may be doing about Sean and his muscles, it's like the dude's a shark.
Yeah, he's skilled. I mean, he's probably Daniel Gracie's best black belt. I mean, probably his star pupil in terms of the skills and how he is as a fighter, and he's a tremendous grappler as well. Yeah. And one thing people don't know about Sean is the guy will run like he'll run like 3 consecutive 6-minute miles. Like for how muscle bound he is, he's rumored to have this great cardio that I never saw. So we'll see. It takes a lot to fuel that tank for sure.
Well, hey, I mean, you got zero of the nerves of competing when he's doing that great cardio stuff. You know what I mean? Like when you have the cameras and all that shit.
Yeah.
And then talk that up to experience again. Maybe one day that won't be a problem. Maybe that's a problem now. Even maybe he has a great poker face and he gets, who knows if he don't throw up before the fight. I don't know what.
Yeah, no kidding.
But he also have that Philly, hey, Damon over here.
Oh, the Philly. Oh, here we go with the Philly accent again. The Philly.
The opponent was Chiesa.
the Philly. It's funny. I am curious though too. What you think, because your division, like what they were talking about, Leon, and another fight, like a trilogy, right, or different things. Like, what do you think should be going on at the top of your division?
Well, I'll lay it out for you pretty simple. Let me get my strings in order here.
Yeah.
Okay. For one, I'm hearing rumblings that it's going to be Leon Usman for sure in England, which that's a no-brainer. In March, yeah. I mean, that's a no-brainer. That's a good time frame.
I'm already booked for that show, though, so I'm excited.
There you go. So that's a good. Yeah. That's a good time frame for Usman to, you take a shot like that. You should probably, I mean, literally, you should take 3 months off. You shouldn't have anybody touching your head. I think Chimaev, he's got to observe some sort of punishment. I think that he should fight Borchinha in Brazil, and I might know.
So you think Khamzat's going to go 185?
I think he had for at least one fight. I mean, what are you going to do?
I want him to fight. I want him to fight Colby so bad.
Me too. I think
but can you count on him?
No.
Here's the thing. No. Can you count? You didn't just miss weight. You didn't try. And I will say this, and I've said this before. Everyone's saying, well, the doctors came in. And the doctors, I can't control the doctors. Well, anybody in the fight business knows when you are having a tough weight cut and somebody brings the doctors in, it's over. It's that as a fighter. Your coaches know that, everybody. So the second somebody says, let the doctor in, it's off. And he did it, so it's like he should have to fight a fight at 185. I would rather have him in the weight class because I want to fight him. I got to face off with him in Fight Island the second stint. Like, we saw him at dinner, and DC's like, you two should face off. And I was like, yes, we should. I would love to look down the barrel of the gun and see what I'm seeing. And I liked what I saw, so.
See, that's why you're a heel fighter, Michael Chiesa.
That's right.
Some people don't like, you know what I mean? Like, some people just want to look good or whatever. That's like the mark of a guy who you're like, no, I mean this to see if I am the best.
Yeah. Right. There's way less pressure of fighting the better, tougher guys. It's like,
I agree.
There's way less stress. Like, it's just agree. There's nothing bad that can come of this because unless you shut my lights off in the first 10 seconds, I'm going to have my moments in a fight. There's never been a fight I've had in the UFC. And actually, all my losses have been in the UFC. I've never lost a fight outside the UFC, except for one amateur fight. But I've always had a moment. It's like, even when I've lost, I've still had a moment in that fight where I almost got you. So it's like, what's there to lose? If I go out and fight Chimaev, I know I'm going to have a couple moments where I can look really good and maybe win the fight. If I lose, who cares? I had my moments, and I went in there with a guy that's a future champion. So I like those types of fights. Those are the ones that really get me going.
Look at Aya Quinch. When he fought Khabib, he fucking I mean, he probably did better against Khabib than anyone in history.
Anybody did better than
exciting.
He did better than Conor. He did better than Dustin.
Yeah.
And I no disrespect to any of those guys. They're tremendous fighters, but
Yeah.
Al Iaquinta's a different breed, man.
Yeah.
He can eat that for the rest of his life.
Yeah, I hope that Al can get, and that's one thing. I mean, he's had a lot of moments of inactivity. I hope he gets this knee thing right, because he's so fun to watch, man. That Bobby Green fight was too much too soon. You're coming off a huge layoff, and this is like Bobby's 5th fight in a year.
I know.
That's tough to like. That guy's got his timing, and you're trying to find yours. It's like that's a hard.
Plus, Green's chiming. Who the fuck has a heat on his chiming? You know what
Nobody.
I mean?
Nobody. Not even Rafael Fiziev.
Plus, by the way, both Al Iaquinta and Bobby Green are former guests of our show, so people can go look back at those episodes. Anyway, continue.
We tried to warn Iaquinta. We said, listen, you had it for that herky jerky.
We tried to warn Al.
He's like, bro, I hope he fucking comes at me like that.
Yeah.
I hope he tries to strike.
I think, they were supposed to fight back in the past, and I think that at that time when Al was more active, that's a good fight for him. But it's
agree.
That's not it takes a couple rounds to figure Bobby out. It takes a round and a half.
Right.
You'll see it takes the fights he's lost a decision. It's like it takes the guy a round and a half to figure it out, and then they look good.
Yeah.
Where it's like, dude, you need a round and a half to just get your feet under you when you haven't fought in a couple years.
Plus, I mean, but no matter what, I'm always gonna be a fan of Iaquinta.
Me too, for sure.
If you like fighters, you're gonna like a guy like that.
He's a fighter's fighter. Like that's the best way to sum it. He's a fighter's fighter. He's like no bullshit, no bullshit in the way he talks, the way he acts, his morals, and the way he fights. There's just no BS to it. I love it.
Yeah.
I love him too, and I also, though, not gonna lie, I love the Iaquinta Realty parody account on Twitter.
Yeah, there's a couple good ones. There's a couple good Twitter accounts. I like that one a lot. That one's good.
I wonder if Al loves that or not.
And I thought it was him.
To me the other day, I tweeted something, and they tweeted back something about like, as long as it's in a good school district, like they did some realtor thing that slayed me.
Whoever it
is funny.
Fucking shocked because he's played a couple times on some dumb shit that was like, oh god.
He's one of he's I thought it was Al for a long time. I'm like, this is Al.
Yeah, isn't him? Because it would be genius if it were actually Al.
It's not. It's somebody that knows him. That's the thing is a lot of these parody accounts that are really good usually know one of these fighters, like not like super personally, but know him. Like House Captain watches MMA. You know that?
Yeah.
One?
Who is that?
That guy went to high school with Felder.
Oh, really?
So it's not like they're like
because House Cat who watches MMA comes up with some really. They tweet me a lot. They come up with some good stuff.
So it's not like it's like they're best friends, but it's the same thing with the Iaquinta Realty guys. Like someone that knows these guys, knows enough to like really run off
mimic
of
the voice, but and to be enough inside to get like some of the stuff.
I found my guy. My guy trains with me. I busted him.
Oh, for heel.
Yes, Psych Chiesa. There's a Psych Chiesa account. And I was like, they started saying stuff. They're not as popular as like Iaquinta Realty or House Cat that watches MMA, but like they started saying stuff that was like, okay, this is kind of hitting close to home. I got to figure this out. And so I went to their media page and like I found a picture of him, but it was like him and his girlfriend standing by a Christmas tree and they put emojis over their faces, but I could see the dog. And I randomly was like dicking around on Facebook one night, scrolling through my jiu-jitsu gym's team page. And I was just like looking at people's accounts, like who's this person? Like I haven't added them yet. Like these are my teammates. I should add them to my Facebook. That's where I post more personal stuff. And it was this kid Eric, and I'm like clicking on his profile. I'm like, oh, Eric, I should add him. And I start scrolling through his pictures, and boom, the Christmas picture shows up without the emojis over their faces, the same photo. And so I didn't tell him forever. I would go to the gym and I
just fucking put
it on. Right. Hold it a little.
You know, and finally one day I had his back, and I go, I figured you out. And he goes, what? And I go, Psych Chiesa. And I give him. So whenever I see him at the gym, I'm like, what's up, Psych Chiesa? You know, it's kind of funny.
But I hope it's funny at least.
It's never bad. It's like it's
awesome.
Very, because if it was bad, like I told my jiu-jitsu coach before I told Eric. And he's like, well, he got like worried, like he was like, oh, he's saying something that was bad. I was like, no, dude, everything was funny, and it's good because sometimes he'll say little things without asking. Like he doesn't consult with me when he posts, but he'll say certain little things, and I'm like, yeah,
I actually wanted to say that, right? Yeah,
you could be the guy to say it,
Yeah.
not me.
I was just gonna say, Mike, because not for nothing, there are times when like I've thought we all kind of wish we had a dummy account sometimes to say some other stuff. Like
there's probably once every 2 days I write something that I'm about to post and I delete it. Like I did I did it yesterday when they broke the news about the new betting thing. You saw how fighters.
Well, I wanted to ask you about that.
Okay, well, this is because you know me. I'm a degenerate and I love to gamble. But I
literally said at the beginning of the show that I specifically wanted to talk to you about that.
I took this picture of me with like a girl filter. Like you can't really see it, but I'm like, this is going to be me on my way to the sports book to make my fight picks. You know,
Michael Chiesa.
Exactly. You know, but what were you going to ask about it?
Joe Hogan killed the fucking
just like how much now is your wife going to be the one going to the sports book? Because I understand, like, here's the thing that's weird about it. We have nothing to say about how the outcome of a fight. So all of us could be betting on it. It doesn't matter. I get that you shouldn't be able to bet on your own fight. Yeah, because you could throw your own fight, stupid as that is. You could wager against it yourself and whatever. So I get you can't bet against yourself, but like, or bet on your own fight, but like, and here's I guess that's why I maybe haven't bet in the past, because sometimes I go, I got inside information and that doesn't seem fair, but that's stupid because I'm just stupid because I should have been making money. Yeah, it's stupid, but like I get it, but it's actually at the same time, it's like we don't have anything to do with the outcome of a fight. So you should be able to bet on it.
There's, it's a kind of a loaded question. I'll try to keep it short because I don't want to be long-winded, but I think that there's a lot of moving parts to this as to why this happened. For one, I think Joe Rogan coming out and talking about how he used to bet on fights. Did you hear about that? How him and Aubrey Marcus used to bet, and it was like an 80%, winning rate and stuff. Yeah. And I think that kind of coming out and that wasn't blown up as it shouldn't. It's just like, it is what it is, dude. Like, it's like if you care about this sport and you are involved and invested in it, you're always going to hear things coming through the grapevine about so-and-so having a torn ACL. This guy's going through a divorce. It's like these things, they fall in your lap, even if you don't go looking for them. And I think that something with fighters doing Discords, and I think that's freaking out a lot of bettors too. I think it's
what the fuck that means. Fighters doing
Discord, the app on Discord where you go and you talk to people and you have a lot of like
you can
live
start
conversations.
Groups. You can start like I can host. So if a fighter could have a group and like a Discord group, and it could be a bunch of people that pay a subscription, and I post my fight picks, and everybody makes money. And I think it's pissing off a lot of the professional sports bettors. And as time goes on. And I have a good relationship with guys like Nick Kalikas and Yanni the Greek because I'm an avid bettor myself, particularly on fighting. And it's not like I don't really play off of insider info. I like to play off of my knowledge. And it's like, and even our we play off of that when I'm on the show. Like, I don't really see many other fighters that are like, they like to put me on the spotlight with my picks because I do well. So do I feel bummed? Kind of, not really, because to be honest with you, from an ethical standpoint, I don't bet on the nights I work. It's not ethical for me to put that much research in. And if I'm gonna bet on fights, I don't want it to be one to work. It just doesn't feel right. So, but I'm hoping that I can still share that knowledge with the people, because it's cool when you're right about something. It feels good,
I think you can. I think you can do that. It's not betting, but it sucks. I mean, I'm sure Joe didn't do it on purpose, but
no.
Time you might want to be a little more conscious. Like obviously he don't need the money no more.
No,
but and other people could enjoy the money.
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of people are really, really bummed out.
Well, I think Joe stopped when he realized, like, okay, this sport's really starting to take off, and this probably isn't going to be a good idea going forward. It's not like he milked the money train until the Iron Curtain got dropped and it ended. I think he was just like, oh, we should probably just stop doing this, So
Yeah, I remember. I remember in the old days. I was telling Karyn Bryant. I remember the very old days when he used to. First of all, he used to be able to get us all at the gym like great tickets.
Totally right.
We used to get the
yeah. He's known Joe Rogan a long time, Mike.
I love Uncle Joe. I
Yeah,
love that guy.
That, and then I also remember going to the sports book to pick up his winnings, and I'm like, you can do that shit? And he's like, yeah, that's fine, or whatever. And I was like, caralho, good for you. And I'm like, let me hold $5.
Let me hold $5. Well, that's the thing is that I was looking, I got to really, really, really parse the language on the thing because I didn't get the email, right? So the email didn't come to me. So I think I'm okay. And if I actually, like I said, I never bet, but I think I still could if I wanted to, because I'm not an athlete. I'm not in an athlete's corner. I'm not in your, on your gym, in your gym. I think technically I'm still okay if I wanted to.
But why upset the apple cart?
That's what I'm saying. I never did before, so I don't know that I'm starting now.
Yeah, I say stay away from that shit.
I think don't be mistaken, Karyn. I think the only fighters that would be upset, or maybe and I'm not, this is me not talking to anybody, like totally shooting from the hip, like maybe a James Krause who has a Discord, or maybe some of these other guys. Maybe they're upset, but dude, if I want to make my bets, I can make my bets. I'm just not going to be the one to do them. Like, it's going to be so hard. And I'm not saying that's what I'm going to do, but I'm saying it wouldn't be that hard. It's like, I don't even know how they would regulate it. Like, maybe it's like, are they going to stop? Like, there's so many betting sites. Is my bookie going to know? Like, are we going to get tattletaled onto the UFC?
Yeah.
Is this just like I don't know how it's going to work. I'm not going to be the one to test it and find out, but it is what it is.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which of your coworkers would be the most likely to hat you out if you did? I'm just kidding. I know the answer. Don't say nothing.
I was like,
and I know why you guys is laughing, because we all know who it is.
Yeah.
Listen. We are family.
Oh, yeah,
I have seen this man in his underwear.
Yeah.
Poor Kelsey, your wife. I mean, let her know. And I say this to all of the guys' wives. I don't, because I rarely see them, but I see all their husbands. Yeah, I came home one time with like some random pair of like Under Armour shorts or whatever. I'm divorced now, Mike, as you know.
Yeah.
But I would hear all kinds of grief, and I'm like, dude, we're all in the same room. Like I've seen all my homies in their underwear. Like it's not crazy that somebody else's shorts are in
bags
my bag.
are splayed out everywhere. You see how messy I'm in. My bag's like wide open for 2 days straight, shit flying in and out,
Oh, you have like Italian stuffs in your bag, like a dry salami and
like a gabagool.
You got a full prosciutto, like like an aged one, like.
Oh yeah, just a little slice and dice before I get on the
and
desk.
a little mozzarella. No, but listen, Mike, he didn't even know before, because I was telling him he made that Honato was advertising the show. He put a Rolling Stones song out, and I was like, you don't even know. I'm like, that's perfect. Mike's wearing his Stone socks all the time.
Always, yeah. My dad named me after Mick Jagger and Keith Richards, so I was like, oh, Karyn must have said something to him because I'm a Rolling Stone.
I did.
I get a feelings, and I put that one.
Feel it in the air.
Yeah, I get a feeling. I mean, at first I was gonna do some Italian shit, and then nothing was getting me, and then I said, wait a second here, because the devil stuffs, and then
yeah, oh yeah, a little heaven, little hell.
Well, that's the whole thing. Is like Michael's a little sweetheart when he's with me, all suited and booted.
Oh, I got.
And then when we see the flip side of him,
then he's booty.
Yeah. You haven't seen me at the Gorge in Washington at a Dave Matthews concert, then you'll really see it.
Dave Matthews.
Love Dave Matthews. Yeah, love me some Dave
like
Matthews.
You like the yoke black guy that played like violin or whatever?
Yeah,
he's dead.
He passed away, but the drummer's good.
What?
Carter's the man. But yeah, the violin player, he passed away like a long time ago.
He's African American, boy.
And he's yoked. Dead. He's croaked.
Oh, he's dead.
May he rest in peace.
Yoked and croaked.
Who the fuck do they have to replace? How do you replace that fucking guy?
Yoked and croaked. Fuck.
Oh, I'm glad you found that funny.
The hits keep coming.
I'm glad you found that funny, Karyn Bryant. A young brother snatched from us in the prime of.
Oh God! Oh my God! Oh my God! Hey, listen, Mike. Wait, go ahead, Honato.
No, I was gonna ask because I know a lot of Italian and Italian American or whatever, and like you said, one from the East Coast and from Italy, whatever.
Yeah.
Spokane, Washington is not known for its Italian.
Aha! Guess what? Here's your trivia moment for the day. I'm gonna educate you on the Italian history in Spokane, which had nothing to do with why my dad came here.
Okay.
So where I live in the woods. But if you go about 1.5 miles, 2 miles down the street, there's an Italian place called Comolini's. It's a restaurant in the middle. And this is the first time I went to Comolini's. None of these houses out here were developed. This place was like there was nothing. But there's Comolini's. And Comolini's was built in the Capone era because Al Capone actually hid out there. So that's part of the history. So like when you go into Comolini's now, they've redone the whole thing, but they kept the same marble floors from, when was that, the 30s or 20s, 30s, 40s, whenever it was. But yeah, then there's a little area of Spokane called Hilliard, which used to be like the little Italian parts of Spokane. So there is little history. Al Capone and his guys hid out 2 miles down the street from my house. Yeah.
I love this kind of fucking information. That's gonna that somehow I play a lot of Jeopardy, and
it's gonna come.
I know that's gonna come.
Where did Al Capone hide out in what's the name of the restaurant Al Capone hid out in Spokane? What is Comolini's?
What is Comolini?
I just want to see Renato Laranja on Jeopardy.
I'd like to see you host Jeopardy. That'd be better. You should put your name.
It would be like a who's on first. Somebody goes, "What is such and such?" I go, "I don't know. You tell me, Karyn." But what the fuck I was gonna say? Yeah, but it's funny. Of course, it's known for Italians now because he went there because it's like, where's the last place on earth people gonna think there's Italian?
Exactly. There you go. Yeah. And I think that's what brought everybody with him. I think when he came, I think it just kind of started the Italian contingency.
This has the makings of like a comedy fucking movie.
It does.
That a fish out of water. Imagine that shit.
Well, they kind of did that in Blue. It's the Steve My Blue Heaven. Exactly. It's Steve Martin, and he's in the protection program, and he's like a Goomba, like mafioso, and he has to go to a small town, and he's like lamenting about the spaghetti. So it's a ketchup and water, and he's like.
Can I tell you something you might not know? Because you and I always talk about.
I love Steve Martin. Yeah.
You and I know that, but you're gonna love this even more because I know you're a big Goodfellas fan. Okay.
Oh yeah.
I found out a couple of years ago. I never knew this, that there was people say, "Oh, we wish there was a movie that was what happens to him to Henry Hill after when
after Rudy's in witness protection."
Well, there is, because My Blue Heaven is Henry Hill, and that's what it's based on. Is Henry Hill's stories of being, and
little Rick Moranis in his little.
Wow!
That's literally they decided to do a comedy shit about that, but it's him. It's Henry Hill.
Wow,
that's interesting.
Now I have to go watch this. Now I'm highly interested.
Yeah, it's interesting.
No, My Blue Heaven is very funny, Mike. It's
the screwball stuff. Just like we were saying, it would be with the Capone stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's very interesting to think of that as Henry Hill.
Yeah.
Definitely have to watch this.
What if, boy, that must have been funny. He's probably telling everybody about this shit, and they're going, "God, how fucking funny is this shit?" Danger now, and it's more just screwball shit.
Yeah.
But it's not produced by the same guy then, right?
No.
It's not like a Scorsese. No, My Blue Heaven is a whole.
No.
It's just that it's Henry Hill got involved in two different stuffs. You know what I mean? The guy Henry Hill.
That is so funny.
Hey, now, Mike, before we let you go, what are your favorite Italian movies?
Oh, well, I mean, Goodfellas is top of the heap. I used to watch that with my dad all the time, and it's funny. A funny story about me and Goodfellas. Me and my friends stink bombed to school in middle school, and I got ratted out. And when I was getting in trouble, I didn't tell on any of my friends. And so my dad came to pick me up, and he's fucking chewing me out. And I said, "Well, Dad, like you always tell me about the two most important rules in life." And he's like, "That's supposed to be a joke, because in the movie, the two most important rules in life, always keep your mouth shut, never rat your friends out." So I still stick to that. But I would say Goodfellas, because of my dad, I'd say that's my favorite. But I think the best Italian movie is probably Godfather Part 2. I mean, it's like it's a cinematic masterpiece. The way they go in the past and the present, the cast.
My brother. The fact that you said Part 2, because I have the same feeling about Part 2, and a lot of people think that's sacrilege. Part 2, because you know why? The De Niro stuff's in Little Italy.
Yeah.
You know, like the stuff gonna kill Fanucci, Dom Fanucci.
Fanucci,
the Black Hand. Oh, what a piece of shit. Who deserves that more? You know what I mean?
I love that movie. And the way it comes together at the end. I like Casino a lot too. I consider that to be an Italian movie. Casino's great, especially the story about it, like how it's like true. It's based on a true story. You know, it's like if for people that are watching this, you Google it. Google cast compared to who they portray in real life, and like Joe Pesci's character and Sharon Stone's character, like they look exactly like the person they're supposed to portray. It's unreal.
Yeah, there was like Ace Hoffstein, and the funny thing is on YouTube you can look up. You remember when it has like Aces High with Ace Sam?
Show, right?
You can find the episodes of that.
No way.
His name wasn't Ace Hoffstein. They had to change the names. All the names of the movie, and the casino's a fake. Casino's Tangiers.
Right.
But it's based on all real people. Yeah, but you can find those fucking. It's unreal. Wait till you look up that. And
it was based after Stardust, the casino. It was based after Stardust.
Stardust was like using our fucking name on that one. Yeah.
Like for Italian movies, Mike, you've seen Moonstruck though, right?
Never mind.
I have not. No.
Never mind.
I gotta watch it now. I gotta watch it.
Snap out of it, Michael. It's the most romantic Italian. It's Cher and Nick Cage. They're so Italian. They're down in the village in New York.
Nick Cage. Nick Cage is Italian. I didn't know that.
I guess his name's Coppola. Nicholas Coppola is his real name.
Oh yeah. The nose makes sense.
Here's some trivia for you. He's a Coppola. He changed his name to a stage name. You know how he picked the name? Wow. He was a big Marvel fan, comic book. Yeah. And so it's like Nick Fury and fucking his favorite guy, Cage, Luke Cage.
But I thought a Coppola was a cage in Italian. I thought a Coppola was the Italian word for cage.
No.
We learned something. All three of us were learning new stuff tonight.
We are learning stuff, but I do know that Nick. Anyway, but you gotta watch Moonstruck. Oh my God!
I would definitely watch it. If it's a romantic,
they're so Italian. It's these Italian families in New York. And they're so Italian, and so it's Michael. Oh my God, it's like the greatest. It's my favorite romantic comedy, like one of my all-time favorite romantic comedies.
I'll have to watch it.
No, Mike Gazzo. There's no Pentangeli in there. There's no shake champagne cocktail. I want the Honato brothers dead. No, March.
I need a new sponsor. Oh, you need a new sponsor. Sorry, I went back to casino. We're movie jumping here. I need a new sponsor.
Jumping all over
you need a new sponsor. You need a new
sponsor. The milk fed veal. Oh,
the milk fed veal. That's hey, you know Lazy, Karyn. You remember Lazy?
Of course. Lazy the Savage.
Speaking of casino, he used to live in Vegas on the golf course from the movie where the plane lands.
Plane land?
Yeah. He used to live on the real golf course that really happened in real life. Yeah, and it's like the house is this like swanky late 70s, 80s. It's like super cool. Yeah,
wow.
Sick.
Well, because his dad was a music producer and stuff, so yeah.
Oh yeah. Rest in peace, Benny.
Right.
Yeah, Benny Mardones, the legend.
Yeah, hey, listen, Mike. I know we kept you a long time, and I know, I'm just so glad you could.
Long time.
Isn't he a good kid, Honato? Like, honestly, Mike, sometimes I want to keep Honato away from my friends because I don't want him infecting him. But the fact that you guys are both love jiu-jitsu so much, and I really actually would love to see you guys roll together sometimes.
It would be an honor.
Sometimes he's working with the High Rollers crew or whatever, but even we're in Vegas a lot. Like, it would be really fun to see you guys roll.
Yeah, let's stay in touch, especially if you're out in Vegas at the same time. That's like that's the meeting ground for martial artists.
we can play like Italian music while we haul and stuff.
Oh yeah, a little Andrea
little
Bocelli,
Pavarotti.
a little
Yeah.
Pavarotti.
Fertility. Exactly.
I love that shit.
We play like that fucking Italian wedding music.
Oh, that would be perfect.
I gotta go back to Italy, man. I love it there. It's so beautiful. I gotta go back.
Yeah, you should. You definitely should. I'm headed back soon, so
We gotta get it in UFC Rome or UFC Italy. We gotta get that, Mike.
Ooh,
I'll be on.
something.
That'd be me. Bellator's doing it. It's only a matter of time. You got Vittori, you know. You got some.
I want to meet
paisans.
some women like Apollonia.
Oh yeah.
Keep your hands off the Italian.
They're probably my cousins, anyways.
Oh, I don't
You know
mind
what
if they
I'm
don't matter to me.
Yeah, welcome to the family, buddy.
Yeah, I'm part of the family. Oh, porra.
There you go. All right. Well, I love you guys.
Oh my
Karyn.
God!
It's great
Well,
to
listen,
get
yeah,
on.
Mike. So you're telling me I'm not going to see you till we're in Florida?
December, Florida. Yeah, long time.
Baby. All right. Well, I'll see you in like 6 weeks then, I guess.
6 weeks. Hopefully, by the time you see me, I'll be in camp too. I'm hoping in the next. That's kind of the other part about this too. Is I had some things come up, like some family stuff,
That makes
but
sense.
I definitely once it came up and Zach gave me the green light to take some time off. I was like, you know what, this would be a good time to be 6 weeks at home, not traveling, get my body fixed, get into training, get back to what got me here. And I was using these fucking things. So
I love it. I love
guys.
it. And on that show, you'll meet my mom and my brother because they live in Florida. So they're going to come to that one. So you'll meet them. But yeah, we'll have a good time. Well, yes, take care of yourself. Heal.
I will.
Get better. Because that's the thing is I do know, like Honato was saying, I do know how frustrating it is for you. I see you at work. I see how raring you are. You're ready to go. I see it. So I understand the frustration.
But you was blessed. It's your fault. It's your Italian ancestry. It's your Italian baston.
Yeah.
It
is.
Like this.
The way it swings around, throwing my hips out of line.
That's bound to. You gotta get a reduction. It's bound to throw you back. You know.
You gotta wear a banana hammock.
You have to, my brother. Just for your.
I got my Brazilian Speedo in my sock drawer. I got one from Cristiano Marcelo. Gave me one. Craziest guy. Cristiano, man. It's you gotta have. Here you go, CM System Speedo. When you're in Brazil, you wear this to the beach. Represent my gym. I'm like, all right, okay.
So he knows. He knows. He wouldn't give that to just anybody.
No.
What size did he give you, Mike?
Oh.
XL.
Mama.
God, for my man-sized manicotti. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's the manicotti. It's the brajol. Now, real quick, speaking of that stuff and the Italian stuff, I sorry to take it into a dark direction, but I wanted to weigh in on this. I don't know if you know, but they're doing a fucking reboot or whatever, a movie version of the fucking Super Mario.
Yeah, I saw that. Chris Pratt's Mario. That's the voice. Should have been you.
First of all, it should have been me, true.
Yeah.
But if not me, we just talked about Casino. We talked about fucking Gaffa. You mean to tell me you can't find one fucking paisan? You have to fucking get this fucking March Divam. You have to get fucking Gavon, who's in every fucking thing anyway. He sounds like this.
He's in everything.
Hey, I'm Mario.
Sounds like me.
Hey everybody, I'm Super Mario.
Hey,
I'm Mario.
Fun fact about Chris Pratt. Another fun fact. Chris Pratt wrestled at Lake Stevens High School in Seattle. Got 5th in state at 190 his senior year.
Listen, it wasn't in Bayonne, New Jersey, though. He's not Italian. God, I can't believe that. That's like having your family Sam, and he goes like this, what in the tarnation is going on here? Listen, how are you gonna do
Chris Pratt's a big UFC supporter.
I don't give a. He's not Italian.
He's not. No, I would not have. If you told me you were casting Mario, you're right. I would not have said Chris Pratt.
I would not have picked Chris
I've
Pratt.
got a mind. Can you imagine what that did to almost put fucking Hey Longo in an early grave?
And Ray Longo would have been great, or Matt Serra.
Yeah, say, hey, fucking hell, knock his fucking head off now. Not for nothing, knock his fucking head off now.
You sound just like him.
I mean, God, and he wear you. I can smell the Paco Habon. and the fucking Shalimar.
Oh my God,
Not
you
for
are
nothing.
killing me right
Renato,
now. I'm like
can't-
sweating my
At
ass
the
off.
pizzeria.
The pizzeria.
Renato, oh no, he go Renato. I used to wear Shalimar and Paco Rabanne. I used to have a horn. Yeah, he told me all about that stuff.
Oh, the horn, yeah.
And he showed me some pictures where he was easy on the eyes.
I was just gonna say he looked good.
He's
Ray?
dark as me, have that silky black hair, and a fucking the horn of plenty or whatever the
Yeah, of course.
Some
he's the kind of guy wear like a cut off sweatshirt.
Exactly. Oh yeah.
Oh God,
that's hilarious.
He probably used to also carry his not boombox, his car stereo kind of guy. Like he have his key and his car stereo in his hand when he.
All of a sudden, it's do the right thing.
I can see that.
What?
I can see that. I can see Ray doing that.
Oh, yeah, in a fucking iHawk Z, whatever, fucking yeah.
Oh yeah, T-top down, baby. T-top
definitely
logo.
had a T-top.
Definitely had a T-top.
And him and fucking young Matt Serra.
Matt Serra was bald still, so.
But imagine him young. What fucking hairdo did he have?
I don't know. That's a good question. I'll text man and be like, hey, what'd you look like when you had hair?
Did you? Yeah.
No, I can tell
I'd be
you
interested to know.
I had him on my old podcast, and he sent me to advertise that one. I used a high school picture of him.
Mm-hmm.
He used to keep it. He looked like he hang out with the brothers or something. Like it was more a black hairstyle. You know what I mean? It was like almost like a fade. You know what I mean? He had more.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
He had like a fade going.
He's a little younger than Hey Longo, so Hey was more, in the 70s, late 70s. That is more 80s, 90s. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and Matt Serra is definitely 80s, 90s. He's definitely
for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Well, listen, Mike, I'm so glad that you were able to join us. So we could talk to you forever. And this is why I do love when we work together, that we have all day. Because I really enjoy your company, and I'm glad you and Honato finally got to meet.
Absolutely.
Before you leave, Chiesa, just one stuff. You're the answer to this question, you're just gonna say no. Okay.
All right.
That's all. I want the Honato brothers dead.
No.
March.
Thank you, Michael.
Love you guys.
Awesome seeing you. And I'll see you in early December down in Florida.
And I'll see you on the mats next time you're in Vegas, Renato. Much love.
Of course.
Ciao.
Awesome.
Ciao.
Take it easy. See you later, Mike.
Yeah, we could have him on all day long if we want. I mean, not if we
This
want.
is what I'm saying. I love working with that guy. Like I love working with him.
See, I've always been a fan of his fighting. I've always had a soft spot in my heart because of some of the trials and tribulations he's been through. The guy sometimes have a nice mullet, and he seemed like just an interesting individual.
He often has a killer mullet. Like his mullet skills are on point. Like
he have a style. He's a man of chase. Like not unlike say the devil. He's a man of wealth and chase.
Man of wealth and chase. Yeah, he is. A big Rolling Stones fan. We really do. We have a great time at work, and so now maybe you get a sense of what it's like. Because like I said, like. He's just got a lot of energy, you know what I mean? It's like he's just a fun person to spend the day with. Like it's not like,
to be honest, all those guys that you work with, I could hang out with, and I have. I mean, Bisping,
exactly,
Gene Chalmers. I mean, all these guys is fun. Light skin heart. All these guys is fun to hang out with, have a beer, all that stuff.
I know. That's the thing. I really am very fortunate because, like, I got to go to work and hang out, with like Alan and Anthony all day, or Mike and Dean, or crap, I got to hang out with Felder. Damn it!
Okay, we gotta have him on because he's the last of that crew that, similar to how I never met Chiesa on the Flash.
Yeah.
Somehow I never met Felder, but we also have a lot.
I love me some Paul.
Yeah, me too. In all kind of ways, I think he's a great commentator. But I was always a fan of his fighting too.
Yeah, no, you're
Like
right. We will have to get him on because you're right. Because otherwise, the only one we haven't had on, because we haven't had Bilal on, but it's like Bilal has his own podcast, and so does Bisping has his own podcast. But it'd be fun to cross for if look at if Mike ever wants to come on with us, it'd be a blast because I love that guy.
Bisping's yeah, for sure.
Yeah, no, that'd be a blast. And we got to get Bully on. I've been on Bilal's show. I've been on Remember the Show. And he was on, I think he was on with me and Angie, but yeah, we haven't had him on with us, but we should because that's stupid. Like that's just silly.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Don't we have like a connection? Didn't he train with Duke Hoofus?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, so I'm an all Duke Hoofus head. Like we've known each other.
Exactly. So yeah, I think that's weird. I guess, or maybe we talked to him about doing it one time because that does seem weird. But we didn't have Bilal on. I guess, like I said, maybe.
No, I'm talking about Felder.
Oh, I know you were talking about Felder, but I'm just thinking of the other guys I work with that also, like he would be the only one. But yeah, no, Paul, listen, Paul, I love me some Paul Felder. And I love that dude. I loved him before I even got to work with him. Yeah. I just loved him because I loved his fighting style. Well, then when I got to work with him, I was like, holy crap, like he's so great. He's so great.
We said about Al Iaquinch in terms of fighting spirit and stuff.
Right.
Like this is a guy who would fight with his nose hanging off his face. He don't give a fuck.
He did. Yeah, Paul jumped in without training or whatever, like on short notice when he's supposed to go. He's got an iron lung. He's this like, yeah,
like he's the kind of guy he would be like, okay, I'm gonna do it.
He's like, and honestly, he's like Bisping in that I have seen no pun intended, and it was before he retired, but like I saw Mike like run away and hide from the doctors because he knew they would maybe ask him something about his eye or like he wasn't and he was like no, I gotta still fight. Like he would bail and like run around and hide, and we'd be like, I haven't seen Bisping's not here, I haven't seen him. Because we wanted him to fight, and like and it's like he's like you literally Bisping would have one arm and be like, no, I'm good, yeah, like I could go.
Some people is just like that, you don't know why they just have that gene. Some people can sing, some people can hype poetry, some people can some people just got that. Some people is a born.
It's weird. I will say this. My ability, I guess, would be that like no matter what is going on, like I can still host a show, which is less of a special important skill. But literally, I've had to do it when like there's been all kinds of stuff going on in my own personal life, or the scenario like people wouldn't have no idea what was actually unfolding. You know what I mean? Behind the scenes, where you're keeping it together and making it look like everything's normal when literally like the scenery's falling apart around you, type thing.
Your greatest attribute is like you have the ability, uncanny ability to bust someone's chops no matter what kind of mood you're in. You can really just tear someone down to the fat meat.
I will never lose that. Right. It's probably the core. It's probably one of my core.
Yeah, to make one of these days, Karyn Bryant to the moon, porra.
To the moon. I can belittle somebody if all else is. So here a couple things. I will never lose it. I may need to use the facilities.
Oh, to take a how you say how to put this mildly, to take a shit.
No.
Oh.
I was hydrating a lot before the show.
Oh, you're gonna go in and just splash water on your face?
Well, I'm not going to.
Women don't use the bath. You just going.
I need it flowered. It's certainly not.
Listen, sometimes if you take a pee and you ate asparagus, it still smells terrible anyway.
I just need you to entertain the masses for a second. I can put you full cam so that people aren't looking at an empty space.
No, it's funnier if you just have an empty space.
Okay, well, I'll be right back. But if I don't go now, the urgency will keep growing, and then I'll be even shorter with you. And then
I can talk to these people here. I know how I speak their language. I know how to talk to that one.
Okay, I'll be right back.
Okay, I'm gonna investigate the comments. What the fuck is going on here? Just gonna check out what's going on here. Yeah, she's gonna let go of a fuck. Somebody. Beans is good for your heart. The more you eat, the more you fuck. Wait, why you say he's the best actor? You mean like for heel? Wait, let's see. Water the toilet. Yeah, that's a good way to think. Water the poisson. What about? Oh, caralho. She trapped the fat man on Hiroshima. Oh, caralho. True. She's gonna. What was it? Fat man and little boy. Oi. Blood clot. Blood clot. Yeah. Next, they're gonna have a. They're gonna have fucking. What's his name? The fuck is the guy's name who's playing Super Mario now? I'm never gonna marry Honda House. She made She made a lot of bad choices. Yeah, Chris Pratt. What the fuck? I can't. It's one of that. I just had a brain fart. Chris Pratt. They're gonna have this guy to play a fucking Jamaican character, and he's gonna be like, blood clot. Rewind selector. They're gonna have him play the fucking Bob Marley story or Peter Tosh or some shit. And just do it where he sound like just fucking big Chris Pratt. I thought he was like a classically trained actor. Oh, is he? I didn't know that. Honda House, no. I would compete that if the money was high. I would compete in the Chris Pratt Wakanda. Exactly. He's gonna be like this. Look, guys, I came to save Wakanda.
Oh no! I just got here, but obviously, I feel like this is what you were talking about. Hey, did you see The Woman King?
No.
No.
As far as I'm concerned, a woman can't be a king. A women need to know where they belong. Caralho.
Yeah, I didn't see that one either. Did you miss me?
Wait, hold on. Somebody said a thing like, "Oh, isn't that funny?" Like me talking about stealing somebody's couch. Listen, I want him to steal somebody's couch. Oh, there we go. Listen, Shaga Shark. I want him to steal somebody's couch. The problem I'm having that he's not even pretend. It would be like if let's say somebody had a Brazilian character and like say somebody made a character of me and they was not Brazilian, and then they go like this: Pora, Caralho, you're retarded. You know, like you know what I mean? It would be Chris Pratt would play. Thank God Chris Pratt isn't. Maybe he played the fucking Renato Laranja story one day, and he'll do it like that.
So the point was, somebody mad that Chris Pratt was getting jobs he quote unquote shouldn't get.
I was saying I saw blood clot on there, and I said, and it made me think of Chris Pratt. I said, next we're gonna have Chris Pratt playing the fucking Bob Marley story and going like that, like
totally.
Don't let them fool you. Oh no. Or even
it'll get completely whitewashed.
But not just no effort to do that. I would have that. So the guy is trying to tell me like, how dare I complain? But the fucking thing is, it's like, now please, Chris Pratt, steal somebody's culture. I want you to steal the culture. I want you to pretend you sound like you fucking, hey me, you're Mario.
But lean into it, really do it.
Yeah, but just do anything but go, hey, it's me, Mario.
Yeah, like if you're gonna do a Johnny Depp it or whatever, or Christian Bale it, where you believe it, like where you're like, do people not even know Christian Bale is not American? Like the man has an accent, like he's not even American. Like you wouldn't have even known that. The first time you actually hear Christian Bale's normal, actual speaking voice, you're like, what the actual hell is that?
Because he even don't have just an English accent. He have one of those. He have one of those thick accents. He sounds like this, you know.
Right? You're like, that's not, because he so becomes who he is in the roles that I literally, it was complete mind blown the first time I heard his real actual speaking voice.
He sounds like a Dickens character. I mean, he sounds like not just. He sounds like he belong in a fucking Oliver Twist.
Totally.
Yeah, but my thing is like, okay, if you're not gonna have Joe Pesci or Danny DeVito or some, like, I mean, it's a no-brainer. Get Danny DeVito. You know what I mean? Like something like that. But if you're not gonna do that, at least hire a waspy actor that can do a fucking impression of because that's the whole fun. Mario. Not that he's a plumber. That's not the part. Like, he's a Mario.
I guess I'm not that invested in the Mario franchise to care that much about that one in particular.
Okay, but if you are, let's put it to you this way. Would you even go see Super Mario movie?
No.
Okay.
Unless the kid wanted to go.
A person who wants to see Super Mario is because they like the game of Super Mario. Yeah?
Yes. If it was a Centipede movie, I'd be there.
Let me check it. Human Centipede, caralho. They made that. But
oh my God,
it was like if you had a Bugs Bunny movie, you know what I mean?
Right. And yes, of course.
All of a sudden he's like, what's up, Doc?
Right. And you're like, no, it's supposed to be what's up, Doc? Yeah, it's like, yeah.
He don't know me very, very well, do he?
Right. So if it gets radically, it's like it's not the thing.
Yeah, then I'm like, well, where's the fun of the fucking character?
What's the point? Yeah, if it's not the thing, what's the point?
So
did they actually cast Chris Pratt as Mario?
Oh, you didn't know this? Oh, so there's a whole backlash going on from people who love.
Oh, so that's for real. I thought that was all speculation.
Oh my God, no. So first of all, when they casted him, people.
I'm sorry. Hi, Karyn. Hi, we're on page 1.
So you thought I was just making like a.
I thought it was all speculation, as in, what if they cast? I had no idea it was actually.
So he's been doing it for a while. So, this was announced a long time ago. When they made the announcement, they're like, that don't sound like a great fit. But hey, for Christ's sake, Heath Ledger played the fucking the Joker, and
Heath Ledger.
But I'm just saying, when he was announced, everybody now can say they thought he was gonna be great. Every single person thought he was like, Heath Ledger, the Joker, get the fuck out.
Right, because he had done things that did not seem that he could have the heft.
It would be like saying like, oh, Brad Pitt, Joker. You know what I mean? You like.
He just seemed like he was in, just like these fluffy romantic comedies and things like that. Well, not just that.
No, I thought he was a good actor, but he was just like a pretty boy,
Right. Right. He hadn't done anything to make you think he could pull it off.
Yeah,
right.
Too young. Everything was against him. Yeah. Come to find out he was the best fucking thing ever. But we didn't know that. So you see that enough to where you go, okay, maybe this guy has a take on it that's going to be great. Yeah. So recently the first trailer started dropping. And there's this thing where you don't see him talk for a minute. He comes into this world or whatever, and you're just waiting for him to go, what's going on? Like, or whatever. And he goes, wow, this is interesting, or what, or something like that.
Okay, but is it because at this point now, everybody gets so litigious, and that people would be would Italian Americans or would, and I don't want to get canceled for even not bringing this up, but would people who feel maligned by a caricature of an Italian man be vocal enough to either sort of get the movie quote unquote canceled, or to have the movie industry or movie company have to pay or in some way, or to have the movie not succeed because somebody felt like their culture was being co-opted or something like that?
Stuff I would say about that in rebuttal to that. And of course, that's the first thing I thought. I go, well, maybe that's because of that. But here's the problem. This is not something that just came out of thin air. Mario is a wildly popular game. And it is like that now as we speak. This is not something from the 70s.
But you couldn't do Jar Jar Binks today.
Hold on. You couldn't fuck Jar Jar. Here's my rationale. Mario as a game is current. He exists like that now. He goes, hey, it's me. You understand? He does
Right.
that.
Okay. It's still like that.
Yes.
Okay.
He behaved like that. So it would be like, I mean, so another thing is, okay, then if that's your worry, don't make a Super Mario Brothers movie. And
yeah, right. Just avoid the whole subject.
Now, if you're really worried about that, then just cast, like I said, Danny DeVito. He would be like at least, maybe you don't get listen, if you're going to play it, like he's playing it straight like this, like, oh, cool, or whatever. Like, he don't even sound that excited. And
no, it's supposed to be a goof.
Yeah, and so if you're going to cast, at least cast Danny DeVito where he may not go, but just hearing that voice would be like, what's going on? You know what I mean? Like he would sound like
yeah.
At least have that. But you can't have a guy that's like in a Italian plumber. That's the whole thing about Mario. And if you take that away, don't even have that one. It's not fun.
Yeah, I haven't seen. I'm so unaware of this. So excuse my ignorance. I did not know it was like already a thing.
Yeah, I mean, I just, like I said, it would be like a Yosemite Sam not having a Southern accent or something and just sounding like a waspy white guy.
Yeah, I guess I would say that is probably due to, you know, like anything these days, all the curves in a sine wave, the highs and lows, getting neutered, getting shaved so no one is offended. And so no one is offended, but also no one is entertained.
But if you're worried about it being offended, you got an Italian character. If you want to have an Italian character, then why are you casting fucking Chris Pratt then if you're worried about that? You know what I mean?
Right.
I said, a fucking funny Italian actor. You think we don't
like you said, I didn't realize, right, there's a lot of funny Italian actors.
Get Sylvester Stallone, for Christ's sake, even that.
Exactly. Yeah, I didn't realize that like the game still has him sounding like that and stuff. Because I could see how people would say, oh yeah, like you can't, you know, that's culturally insensitive or whatever. Like I said, I don't think you could come out with Jar Jar Binks now. I think that would not fly.
That's like having an Aunt Jemima video game and then she goes like this. How's everybody? How's everybody? She's voiced by like Juliette Binoche or whatever.
Juliette Binoche going, y'all gonna get yourself something to eat?
Y'all good? Y'all want any collard?
Y'all good? Y'all hungry?
Cobbler?
Y'all need to get something to eat. Okay, so here we go. Honato. We can either.
Yeah. Now, hold on, real quick. I'm seeing people talking about Jack Black. Now, that might be the saving grace. Jack Black plays Bowser or whatever. So that's a good fucking thing.
Chris Pratt, Jack Black sell the movie. Authentic voice actors don't. But he's saying Chris Pratt, he likes Chris Pratt. This one is saying they don't like Chris Pratt, though.
I'm saying at least Jack Black because he really knows how to voice some shit.
Jack Black is he's awesome.
Yeah, he's a lot of fun. And I'm sure, you know what? And I'm not a hater of Chris Pratt. I think Chris Pratt is probably capable of doing some fun stuff. You know what I mean?
Oh, this guy's saying Charlie Day would have been good. I love Charlie Day. His voice, it would have been a good.
Yeah, I think he's in the movie, isn't he?
Is he?
I could have sworn he's like Luigi or something.
Oh, is he? I don't.
I'm almost, unless I got that fucked up.
Well, he said Charlie Day would have been good as Mario instead of Luigi. So I guess he's in it as Luigi, and he's saying he should have taken the lead.
So I guess the way they're going with this is like Mario is gonna be the straight man, and everything around him is wacky, like in Luigi.
Right, Luigi, you'll be over the top.
Yeah, and he'll be like, "Hey, hey, Luigi, you can't go around doing that stuff." And he's like, "Hey,
but I can." Yeah. Okay. Well, Charlie Day's great when, like you said, with that high pitched voice and stuff like that.
Charlie Day, have some fun with that. The kids want to see. Listen, the kids don't know from. They want
canceled from cultural appropriation, right? They just want funny. Yeah. They just want funny. No, yeah. I hear you. Hey, listen, so
I made a Pixar movie about little black Sambo, and then we have a little black Sambo. Well, hey, how's everything?
You know what? Let's not do something.
Or how about this? If that's too much for you, how about Uncle Hemus or Uncle Chunk?
And Brer Rabbit.
You can have the Char Baby. You remember Char Baby?
It was D-Tar Baby, by the way.
Char Baby. I love Char Baby. He was
I think I still, oh gosh. I don't know if I have it here, but if not, it's at my mom's house. There is a this collection. Oh no, I think it's at my old house. I think my kid still has it. If not, I packed it up. But I have like this old collection of those old stories, and Detar Baby was still in the book. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the song to the South. They have it.
Song of the South.
Yeah.
Yeah, where is that book? Gosh.
You're not supposed to be heating that stuff anymore.
Sorry, I know. I'm
kidding.
My brain was just doing a main break, like a. Oh, speaking of, oh, wow, that was not good. No, never mind. Different. Change. Nothing. But listen, I wanted to get into a couple of things, that I'd said we were going to talk about on the hit list. We can preview some of the fights coming up this weekend. I don't know how you feel about Alexa Grasso's win this past Saturday. Chidi was right again, by the way.
It was.
But we have Chidi's choice for UFC 280. We have Chidi's choice here for TJ versus Aljo, and for Oliveira versus Islam. So we can look at those and we can get into those fights, or we can talk about Alexa's win. We can talk about we were going to talk about the special salad dressing that Olivia Wilde has made.
I don't mind talking.
Apparently, that is what secured the deal with Harry Styles or something like that. I'm curious if you.
I don't know that that's gonna be securing the fucking deal, Karyn.
Well, where do you want to go? What do you want to talk about?
Fuck it, we're talking about that, so let's talk about that. So set up the people with that.
Okay, so Olivia Wilde, you guys know, the actress. She was married to Jason Sudeikis, the actor from Ted Lasso, who is so funny and so good and was, whatever, great comedic actor. She is now with Harry Styles. She directed him in a film called Don't Worry, Darling, or Don't Worry, Baby. And allegedly, one night, this is all coming from their nanny, she was making a salad with the special salad dressing that she was then going to take over to Harry. Jason was aware or believed that they were having an affair, allegedly laid down under her car or in front of her car to try to keep her from going to deliver the special salad dressing to Harry Styles. And we all know now, though, that Jason, had actually served her those divorce papers when she was at in front of a bunch of people doing a presentation about the film. He served her papers while she was basically at like a Comic-Con type thing, which was kind of weird. But anyway, they are getting divorced. And so there's a lot about the special salad dressing now and their breakup.
Hey, listen, I mean, I said it before. If you're Jason Sudeikis and Harry Styles want to fuck you, girl, Harry Styles going to fuck you, girl. There's no amount of salad dressing or not salad dressing or any of that stuff that's going to stop that one. It's like and on top of it, your wife is like working with the fucking guy. It's one thing if like just keep her away from like the award ceremony where he might be, or a show or something. But she's gonna do it around this guy for fucking 3 months or whatever. Come on. I mean,
she's his boss for a few months.
You better off just not try to stop her. Try to stop Styles. Go to Styles and beg of him. Say, hey, listen, I'm Chad Lasso. You ever seen the show? Please, if you ever cared about or SNL, anything, don't fuck my girl, please. Because Harry Styles, if you want to fuck your girl, not your uncle, not, but if you like a guy, listen, if you what's his name, Sudeikis, because she was out of his league looks wise anyway to begin with, Karyn.
Okay.
And it only highlight that one. It's not like she lost him to like Jimmy Fallon or like what's the guy that have like a late night show, like a heel late, that was Seth Meyers or whatever.
Seth Meyers, yeah.
It's like, it's not like that's comparable, You can fight off the Seth Meyers.
You can't fight Harry Styles.
You can fight Harry Styles. It's just not gonna happen. He's intoxicating.
Well, yeah, I would say that for me, somebody who makes me laugh will get very far. So a Sudeikis type, somebody that would, keep me in stitch, that kind of thing, that would get really far. And that would probably only be bested by somebody who could sing to me.
Yeah. and also someone who is like fucking great looking and have that shit eating like Cheshire cat smile shit.
Yeah.
Like do the androgynous shit, and he's like oozing with fucking confidence and stuff. Like it's like, come on. I mean, that's a big ask, you know?
But it's funny. It's because, like you said, you would go to him. It brings to mind, and folks would know the old Dolly Parton song, and it's been covered a lot, Jolene. But it's like, Jolene, please don't take my man. Don't do it just because you can. Like, it's that kind of thing. Like, where you like,
that's
please.
a strategy, because there's nothing you can say to her that's going to get her to stop, because she's already caught in the tractor beam. You can just appeal to this guy, because you can go, look, you can have anyone you want. Don't take this one from me. I can't get another one like this. You could get ones like this all the fucking time. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Oh, my brother, don't do that to me, you know? And then he might feel like a shit heel. You know, if he's a good guy, he might go, I don't need to do this to this fucking guy.
So somebody told me, or I read, or something. I remember, or maybe, gosh darn, maybe it was from a movie or something. Maybe it was a movie.
Yeah.
Gosh darn it. And it was one of those things where they were talking about, and this is, remember, Sudeikis is her second husband, and that is just for point of fact, not judgment. But second husband, she got married when she was 19 years old or whatever, something really young, you know, and was married for a while when she was really young. But what was I gonna say? Wait,
I told you side information or something about her.
Huh?
She's wild. She's a
no.
She was married before.
Okay, now this was it. So it was from a movie or something, and they were saying, you know, like basically like men cheat all the time, and you know, it is what it is. And they were like, men can cheat all the time, and it doesn't mean the end of the relationship. But like if a woman cheats or whatever, like she's done. You know what I mean? Like there was going to be no coming back from it type of thing. And in this story, she's the one to have been said to have been the one who, you know, was like he said, he was like, oh, I think you're having an affair with him. I'm going to lay down in front of the car. This is all from The Nanny or whatever. But that if she was checking out of it, like, I hate to say it, but he probably wasn't going to stop her.
Never. That's why you have to go to him. You see, if you try to stop through the girl, if he tries to stop through the girl, he's going to do that by trying to go, look at this guy. He's going to cheat on this guy. Fucks all kind of women. So you ending up talking shit about him is going to make him seem even more appealing. But on top of that, she's going to go tell him the shit that you said about him. Now he's really going to want to fuck her. You understand? But if you go to him and go, I'm the biggest fan. I used to watch One the Hack. I used to listen to you guys. I have all that stuff on CD and also 8-track. Oh, I love you so much. One Direct.
Please don't sleep with my wife.
Did you like any of my work? Just think about that. You can't watch Ted Lasso now because you're gonna feel guilt. Please don't do this to me, caralho. And then maybe you have a chance. But if you try, no, Olivia Wilde.
Well, you think a guy would want to be? That doesn't seem weak? You would be.
Away with her. I'll kill myself if you bring the salad dressing. He's already being weak. So if you're gonna be weak and beg, you might as well beg fucking Harry Style.
Yeah. All right. Well, I do think I'm curious though if there is like with a special salad dressing, like do you have a Renato Laranja meal that you make for the ladies that like always works?
Well, one that seemed to be a heel crowd pleaser. I usually give them tube steak smothered in underwear. Oh, caralho. That's the chef special. Oh, porra. They change. That's off the menu, caralho. That's in season, caralho. That happened to be in season.
For the happy hour, huh?
Fucking every year that's in season, caralho. So that's my specialty. But you know, if I gave to that one to Olivia Wilde, she's gonna forget about the dressing, everything. She's gonna be using Newman's Own. She don't even give up.
She's attracted. She's attracted from your Honato.
Listen, let me tell you this. She's attracted. If I'm Harry Style, The world is your oyster. Okay. The world is your fucking oyster. This kid, not only can he sing, you know what he remind me of? He have the swagger of this. He's like if Mick Jagger was good looking.
They make a lot of comparisons between the two.
You fucking imagine. Mick Jagger is one of the. That guy looked like he looked like an alien. But let me tell you something. He was one of the most attractive guys on earth. Just because of who
concert, he the way he sings and struts, amazing.
Is his spirit, is everything.
His essence, his vibe, his whole, yeah.
If he had that whole thing, you would be. Listen. Now, so take that all the stuffs from Mick Jagger, and then make it so he's like actually fucking great looking, like classically good. It's
right.
Almost unbeatable, caralho.
Yeah,
and shit. I mean, what the fuck are you gonna do about this?
Well, good luck to Sudeikis. I mean, his show's a success. They're doing one more season of Ted Lasso, right?
You'll find another. Listen, even a guy of Sudeik. You know what you do if you're Sudeik?
You're not single.
Here's what you. Here's what you do if you're Sudeik. With his powers of Ted Lasso, SNL. All that stuff he's got going.
He tweeted later. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
All the shit he's got going on. He can get some of the most gorgeous women on earth. Just don't get one that's also famous. That's a tough ask because those ones is not intoxicated by the whole Ted Lasso shit, and they can get a better looking version of a fucking famous guy or whatever. You know, just get some chick who's like have a boutique or have like someone who's not in the business, and she's gonna worship Sudeik, you know, or whatever. So you know, there's a lot of gorgeous women out. You don't need one that's in
for sure. I mean, but at the same time, at the same time though, having somebody in the business where they at least understand what you're going through though makes.
But it's almost a recipe for disaster because think about this. Let's say you have a family. Put it this way. You have a family and you're trying to make it work, okay? You have the wifey, a couple kids or whatever. You are a celebrity. You're Jason Sudeik, okay? Then when you get work, you flying off here, you flying off there. You working 3 months away from the house. Plus you're doing press, all this shit. You know what I'm saying? All these kinds of extra fucking shit. You barely have enough time to get back to your wifey and the kids.
Yeah.
The wifey now don't have a normal job or is not a housewifey or whatever. She's now going to have those awkward schedule too. So when you came back, she might be off in fucking God knows where too. So to coordinate that schedule is double, triple, quadruple fucking hard if you got two people who's in that crazy fucking business.
Yeah, so I get that.
Right off the bat, you're almost in an unchannelable situation. You know what I mean?
I get
it. You know, I think get somebody who's not in the business if you can.
I get that. I get that. I get that. Well, I wish them the best of luck. I wish them the best of luck.
Okay.
Huh?
I know Harry Styles is gonna be okay. He's gonna be laughing with that shit-eating grin. He's gonna be like, after he's done with Wilde and Sudeik and all them, he's gonna be doing his own shit.
He's gonna be just fine. Okay, so Honato, want to ask you about, or not ask you about, but first I want to show you something. This is Chidi's choice for the main event this weekend at UFC 280 between Charles Oliveira and Islam Makhachev. I personally still see Charles Oliveira as the champion, although we know he was kind of stripped of the title when there was that scandal on the scale and they claimed he didn't make weight, but there was like all this stuff about whether the scale was really calibrated, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, he's fighting Islam Makhachev at UFC 280 in the main event. Chidi's record is currently 8-1. So last time out, he correctly predicted that Alexa Grasso was going to beat Viviane Araújo. So let's see what he thinks about this.
I've never used his information.
Hello,
bad.
and welcome to another edition of Chidi's Choice. Today, Chidi will be choosing the UFC 280 main event between Charles Oliveira and Islam Makhachev. Chidi is a bearded dragon. He is the Fistivities mascot. What we do here is we take the names, we ball them up, we put them down in front of some arugula randomly. One there. Oops.
Do he only like a...
They're stuck together here. One
he loves
here,
the arugula.
and one here.
He really does.
And then we put him down.
Yeah.
And here he goes. Okay. Okay. So Chidi went right away this time and has gone over to pick Islam Makhachev for the win at UFC 280. Chidi has chosen. We shall see.
I've never won him.
We shall see.
I'm so bummed. I hope he's wrong, bro. I'm like, Chidi's record's 8-1 right now. I want him to go 8-2. Like, that one hurt a lot.
Thanks a lot, Chidi.
No, gee, put the stink on it. Like, I'm bummed.
Yeah, he had to just like go for it with no. At least he didn't even like go. Maybe that, maybe that. We just gotta hope he's drunk with power now, and just like, I don't care. He don't even train, or he don't even take it seriously no more. He's just like, whatever. Hopefully that's what it is. He's like flying too close to the sun.
Yeah.
Because
Enter the bearded dragon. Exactly. GSE. And yeah, D. Of course, he did go to the right. I know. And listen, we've talked about spinning him around. His handler says we cannot spin him around to make him go anywhere. I'm going to just put the two piles of arugula closer together. But he had no resistance. You're right, Brandon. There was no resistance there at all. He was very definitive, and he was very certain. And so that's why I'm upset.
I got an idea. What about starting him further back? It feels like he's...
Here's the thing. I don't know if we can start him further back because he may not actually go for it. But anyway, here's Charles Oliveira, Honato. And I know, I love this guy. I've been a huge fan for years. Obviously, he's your countryman. Obviously, he's a jiu-jitsu guy. But he also has great hands. Like, it hurts me to think that this man might not win.
Yeah, I mean, of course, we knew that there's a chance he don't win. But, like, I just like the guy. I love the story. And not like I have anything against Makhachev or whatever. I just prefer Oliveira.
Me too. I like his fight style. I always have. And I like that he, like you said, with the story that, in the past, people kind of wrote him off, and some people kind of doubted his heart and doubted his commitment. I think he's somebody that we really saw evolve a lot over the years, to where his striking became a threat. I don't want to say equivalent to his jiu-jitsu, but, he's got knockouts. This is a man that now you really do have to worry about where the fight unfolds.
Absolutely. Yeah. And somehow, like, the way I feel like if Makhachev win, it's going to be like the same old story, like the way he win every fucking time. There's something about it where I just don't want to see it unfold. I don't want to just see him check him down and like handcuff him and just like hit him. I just don't want to see that.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. And I guess that would be like the pros and cons of a guy like Makhachev, right? The pros are, what you're going to get, what you're going to see. And if you like that kind of dominance, it's the same sort of argument of why some people loved Khabib, because he was so dominant. And sometimes it is fun to see a dominant champion. When Ronda had her run, that's why it was fun. When John Jones had his run, it's fun sometimes to just watch a dominant person kick ass. But I guess, like you said, it's the style, it's the wrestling heavy style that doesn't seem as exciting as a striker style.
Which I don't mind the wrestling heavy style. I just, it's I don't know. I respect it. It's amazing that he's able to do it. I mean, he's letting his hands go and stuff. So, I mean, listen, I shouldn't be smart to the guy's name. Sometimes we penalize people for being great. I don't know.
I I think I get it, and it's like you started to say. I respect that. It's like I respect that, but I can't say I'm amped to see it. Like when
Yeah.
which if you said which person are you putting your
Yeah.
dollars down to see, it's Charles.
Yeah, but at the same time, I'm a fucking hypocrite because when I see stuff happen, when I see a fighter I love, like a Bobby Green or something like that, get negated by that shit, I go, man, that's fucking fuck this shit or whatever. However, if the hoes are reverse and I personally know the guy that's using that style, I'm like, God, you know what I'm saying?
Suck it. Yeah, right.
That goes back to the stuff I said last week about everybody like the smell of the flash or whatever. You like it when it's yours. Yeah. When it's your boy, you 100%. Like all the whatever it take. But if the other one do it, you're like, well, why he's got to do that? You know what I mean? So it's like we all feel like shit. I don't know.
Yeah. And Dean is saying that Khabib and his guys have crapped on BJJ for years. Yeah, remember he did say something like that time about.
But I have to say, I want this to be. I feel like this is setting up something great in the grappling world, where we need to have like the greats of fucking jiu-jitsu. You need to have an all jiu-jitsu all-stars versus an all sambo all-star.
That'd be cool.
I'm not talking about, sorry, let me clarify. I'm not talking about little blackie sambo. This is a Haitian sambo, which is a different. Somehow they took away everything that made the
It's not a dance off anyway. Sambo would kick.
Yeah, they took everything that made the original sambo popular and turned it on its head. Now it don't even have nothing to do with black guys, nothing like that. It's all Haitian guys in like a headgeese with like a short pants. Look, it's popular over there or whatever.
Thank you for the clarification.
You're welcome.
But you're right. It's like if Islam, look at if Chiesa did that to somebody, you know what I mean? I'd be like, yeah, well, sucks for you. You didn't know how to play Chiesa's game. Like, exactly. You know what I mean? It's like
I'll do the same shit. I'll go, you gotta be able to stop him. But then when it's somebody else against my guy, I go, it's like, what? He's just afraid.
Oh, so you came here and you blanketed him. Big deal, big fighter. I know we're all so prejudiced and biased.
It's also, you know what? There's sports players like I talk about basketball a lot.
Yeah.
There's players like a Patch Beverly or a Draymond Green, people like this who you hate their fucking guts. Like you want to kill this person. Right. As soon as he's signed to play for your team, you're like, yeah. You know what I mean? You're like, fuck yeah. Because he's going to be a thorn in everybody's side. He's going to.
Right. But now at least he's your guy.
And then everybody's going to be like, fuck that guy. And you're like, I kind of like it. You know what I mean? But it's just the way it is. It's human nature.
It's just the way it goes. It's just the way it goes. Hey, okay. Huh?
Real quick. Here's a perfect example. How do you feel about people who is hiding their when you're driving around in LA, who is hiding their bike on the street? How much do you want to, when you're like, oh God, you're trying to get somewhere?
What? No, they don't bother me. I guess only if
in a hurry.
If they're bobbing and weaving and I'm like, I don't want to hit them.
Well, what I don't like is when they act like a car and they just there. They're not off to the side. They just like hide in the middle. And you're like, what the fuck is this? Like, and they don't feel like they're making even and you're like, God, you just fucking move over or something like that. I don't want to hit this guy. But then if I was on a bike, like with my girl, we're going to like a picnic or whatever, and I'm like, why can't these people just let us to enjoy life? You know what I mean? Like, it's like,
dude, you're taking your life in your own hands riding a bike around LA.
I don't. I'm saying like hypothetically. I don't even have a girl. We're not going on a picnic. I'm just saying.
I was gonna say where you're going. No, I have a bike and I need to take my bike in to get a tune-up, but I only think I'll ride it on like those bike path things where there's not cars because people are crazy drivers here. I'm not trying to die in the streets.
No. I'm an idiot. I used to hide my bike. I used to work and do all kind of hide my bike in traffic in New York with no helmet. I used to
rollerblade all around Manhattan like an idiot too. So
I remember one time one of those fucking double park cabs or whatever had just pulled over and then the person got off street.
Open the door.
classic. I just went like,
Yikes.
Yeah. Ooh.
Yikes.
Oh,
Yikes.
wait, one more fucking thing.
Ooh.
Timey, this the dead of winter in New York. Cold as fuck. I used to walk for a living. I used to walk dogs on the east side. And I lived on the west side. So I used
How many of the owners did you sleep with?
Only a couple, that one, funny enough. And I used to do for like even celebrity and stuff. Like I remember I walked Puffy's fucking dog, and it was like a heel pampered Shapé.
Puff Doggy.
That's what its fucking name was. Honeycombs. Got out of you. But you can't blame the fucking dog. The dog don't know what's going on. So anyway,
it's not the dog's fault.
Not the dog's fault. So I always had to go across Central Park and go back and forth. You know what I mean? But it don't matter if it's raining, snowing, blizzard, whatever. You got to do what you got to do. So I remember I got very comfortable because I was always on my bikey. But at this time, it's cold. You have your gloves on. You know, you got your big down coat or whatever. And so I'm hiding with no hands in the street. Okay. And then like a dummy, there was like dog hairs all over my gloves. And so I'm like hiding with no hands, and I have the glove off. I'm taking that and I like whap it on myself like this. And then I go whoop, and I hit it, checking for grants. I got too comfortable. I hit it on the handlebar and went, and I went head first into the grill of a fucking parked car, and then was just laid the fuck out like a newborn fucking baby. Like Shamik from 212, on the fucking the fucking icy street. To my chagrin, it happened to happen, and I didn't even realize till it happened that it just happened to happen in front of a high school, getting off at 3:00 or whatever. The whole
Nelson.
Look at that nigga! You know, and thank God they didn't have like, it wasn't the modern era of like a camera phone and shit.
Cameras,
like
dude, you'd have been TikTok famous.
They had the time of their life, and mind you, it looked bad. I had a knot on my fucking head and blood on my face, and I was on Queer. Yeah, I was on Queer Street. Nobody tried to help me. They was all like this. Look at that nigga. Like they was delighted by that. That they had a blast at my expense. I had to pick myself up like I was getting sat down on the stool, you know? I had to pick myself up and get out of the street. And like, you know how your handlebars get bent the fuck up? I had to get them squared away and kind of like stumble back onto the bike and kind of hide off into the sunset, and just to a chorus of the Bronx cheer and just the giggling and the glee and the joy of my dismay, of my loss was big game for her.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I got jumped before too, and they was laughing at me when they put the flashes on me. That's another one. You know,
I'm sorry.
Like when you already beat up, and then for just like the sprinkles on top, like the little guy like kick you in the head or whatever, like just
right.
And then they go, you know what I mean? And
right.
Go,
yeah.
That happened to me too in Central Park. Those fucking kids. I wish I could. Ever wish you could found some of those ones and catch up.
I wish I could find some people from my past. I never got in fights, but like who maybe like emotionally abused me.
Well, this wasn't a fight. This was a jump. I got jumped.
Or like you said, like, but just even just laughing at you for stuff like that. Yeah, I would like to. Yeah. Hey, speaking of fights.
Yeah.
Co-main event on Saturday is the bantamweight title fight between the champ Aljamain Sterling and TJ Dillashaw. Chidi's choice. Let's see what Chidi thinks is going to happen for this title.
Hello, and welcome to another edition of Chidi's Choice. Today, the Fistivities mascot, Bearded Dragon, is going to choose between the UFC 280 co-main event between the champ Aljamain Sterling, and the former champ T.J. Dillashaw. Okay, what we're going to do here is we're going to put Chidi down. We put him in front of some arugula. We take the names,
kind of like not
randomize them. One there,
what? Say again?
One there.
Be a not
We put our bearded dragon down, and he makes his choice. Okay, so Chidi has gone to the right. Once again, not gonna lie, folks, if you've watched any of Chidi's choices, you know Chidi has a tendency to go to the right. He is also often right with his picks. This time, Chidi believes T.J. Dillashaw will get the win at UFC 280. Chidi has chosen. We shall see. We shall see.
Now, I'm not sure what the odds are.
I think it's a kind of a pick 'em. I mean,
I think it's kind of a pick 'em. Yeah.
I obviously I think TJ have more power in the strikes, but I feel like if Aljamain can beat Peter Yan or Piotr, however the fuck you say his name, if he can beat that guy, he can beat TJ. But having said that, I mean, he's capable of beat TJ.
Yeah.
Clearly, TJ is capable to beat Aljo too. So I feel like it's like, who's gonna have the better day? Maybe, you know what I mean? Or look, Aljo, he really impressed me when he beat Peter Yan. I mean, it's not easy to do that, especially if you don't have like a one punch knockout power. You know what I mean? The fact that he cobbled that together is very impressive. So, and then you know, TJ, but you know what? TJ's kryptonite is when a guy is like can also knock him the fuck out. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
If you knock out TJ with one shot, it's gonna be that's a tough order.
Well, and I'm not exactly sure of their stats and everything, but like TJ, I mean, I would imagine Aljamain will have a reach advantage. You know, it seems like he would, but it may not be that big.
I don't know. What, just because he's African American?
No, just because he's a lankier built guy. But you know, one thing that's interesting, you know, Aljo has. I was working with him. You know, Kies was talking about this. Aljo was working with us a few weeks ago, and he really believes that TJ's a cheater, right? Like he talks a lot about the PED use, and you know, obviously TJ's admitted it and all that, but Aljo really leans into that, and I think really puts a lot of weight on that in terms of what does that mean about TJ in terms of does he have quit in him? Does he look for excuses? You know what I mean? Does he not really believe in himself? It's one of those things.
At the end of the day, you got to fight the guy. I mean, you could say all that, but if you sign on the line to fight the guy, then whether he's on PED or whatever the fuck he's on, you got to fight the guy, you know?
I'm just saying that's what I'm just giving you a little insight.
I don't know if to help him. You know, I could see that helping him in the sense of get him all hiled up so he fights emotional and then maybe makes it easier to take him down or something like that, you know, maybe to get overextend himself trying to knock him out and then make that easier for him, maybe if that's the strategy. But it's like, I think at this point, you know, calling TJ a cheater is almost like saying, it's like, hey, you know, Barry Bonds took steroids. It's like, yeah, tell me something I don't know. You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah.
You mean, I almost said Chobe Maguire. Fucking Mark Maguire. Oh, he was, you know, he wasn't natural. No, you say it ain't so. God.
Yeah. And at any rate,
so he turned that guy into a fucking white guy. You seen him? He's a Caucasian now. God.
Oh my gosh.
Steroids.
No, I know. That fight will be interesting. I know. I don't even want to get into it. Aljo got into some hot water recently for some stuff that he said, but it should be an interest. And for some people that he's been hanging out with over in Abu Dhabi.
Oh, you hanging out with guy, that like influencer, whoever.
Tate. Somebody Tate.
To be honest, it's funny. This is how I'm out of touch.
I didn't know who he was.
I know that he's somebody because I hear this name. I know that he's famous in the kind of way that maybe was the fucking kids, Logan and Paul and Frank Paul, whatever the fucking guys, Becky Paul, whatever.
Yeah.
in the same way that I didn't really know what they was famous for or whatever, but I started hearing their name everywhere. It's a similar situation with him. All of a sudden, I started hearing, oh yeah, people would bring him up in on a post or something like, oh, it's like an Andrew Tate. And I'm like, who the fuck is that? So that I don't really even know. I couldn't tell you what he's famous for. I just know that he's famous.
Yeah, I didn't know who he was either, really, and I don't follow him and stuff. But you know, there's just been some things that were said about women and you know their responsibility in terms of things of when they get into some bad situations. That just was bad. Like you know, he just maybe shouldn't have commented on it, and you know, brought that kind of.
Tate did that, or are you saying
both of them did? Like Tate did it, and then I guess Aldo sort of seconded it. Or
when you work for a big company that you're trying to like become a weedy brand,
you gotta keep your mouth closed.
Yeah, you gotta you save that for when you get your podcast after you hitchhire. Then you can be
right.
You can say all the wacky shit. Then you can do all that stuff. You know.
Yeah, don't do it now. But also so that's this weekend. I have more footage too, but I know we've been on for a bit. But like so Benil is fighting Gamrot, which should also be pretty entertaining. We got Sugar Sean versus Jan.
That's probably the one besides Vera Makachev, the Jan O'Malley.
Jan Sugar Sean, you're interested?
See how that, because we wouldn't be surprised for Jan to be able to negate him or whatever. At the same time, I feel like if O'Malley somehow was able to like knock him out or something, I think it would be like kind of thrilling. You know what I mean? I think it would be kind of like, wow. You know what I mean?
It would, but this dude's a little tank.
I know. That's why it would be. But Dana White had a good point. He said, I mean, this is kind of like the Wish version, but he didn't say that, but he remind him of McGregor when he fought Aldo. You know what I mean? Like, now McGregor's finally gonna fight someone who like is gonna kick his fucking ass. You know what I mean?
Gotcha. Right. So this is the time, right, when Sugar Sean's supposed to get his comeuppance.
This could make Sugar Sean's legacy like in the same way like McGregor became a fucking legend when that happened.
Because he could come out here and he could front kick him right in the face and take him out.
Happen. I mean, but no one would be surprised if Peter Yan. Is it Peter or is it Piotr?
Piotr. It's like Piotr Yan.
Piotr. So
Piotr.
No one would be surprised if Piotr Yan just like wiped him out or whatever, or just won points or something like that, and kind of beat him. But at the same time, I feel like it's possible that O'Malley, I could see something crazy happening.
Oh, listen, I agree. Listen, Sugar Sean, he's one of those guys where I think people sometimes almost discount his skill set because of the persona, right? Like they see him and they think he's kind of a caricature now or whatever. He's building a big life outside of fighting. But then you forget, and then when you watch a fight, you're like, oh no, the kid actually has some skills too. So, and that lanky frame, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like he is going to have a lot on Jan. Like Jan could have a tough time getting inside. Listen,
as a fan of fighting, I mean, I just love the creativity. I love the skill sets that the kid has. The one thing I think has been his problem is he's kind of, maybe it's his frame, whatever. I don't know why. He's just prone to injury. He's easily can get injured in a fight, and I think that more than anything have fucked up his. I think he would have been doing a lot more if shit like this didn't happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Look at this fucking.
He's fun. I'm a fan. Look, I like the kid. I like him.
I mean, he talk a lot of shit, whatever, and I can understand it. I can understand that he hubbed people the wrong way or whatever. But for me, it's mostly about watching somebody. Like I'm not going to say he's not on the level of Adesanya, but when you watch Adesanya throw strikes and stuff like that, it's very, it's interesting. It's like, it's like watching somebody improv or something, you know what I mean? Or does some of the John Jones at his best. He's so creative, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there's something about watching fighters that's so creative like that. but also sharp. You know what I mean? There's something pretty about it, like dance or something. You know, there's something about it that is that's beautiful to watch. And that's even as maybe hateable as his behavior or whatever people don't like about him, I'm able to not give a fuck about that because I'm like, but look at the kid fight. It's very exciting to watch, you know?
Agreed. I'm a fan. I like him. Hey, so before we get out of here, one other thing I wanted to get your take on. Dana White's Power Slap League has been approved by NSAC, and apparently there may be a Dana White's Power Slap show before the end of the year, even at Apex. You know, we've seen some of his Power Slap stuff. I am curious what your take is on that.
It's a great chime for White's power. There's never been a better chime because
no, Dana White's Power Slap, not White's Power.
Oh God, I
Dana White's Power Slap.
It's still okay. It's not as popular. White's power is taking off these days, God argue. And I think people is very interested onto that one. And thank God for Dana White to brought that one out to the forefront. First, he has Dana White's privilege. Now he is of a Dana White's power. Next, he's gonna have I don't know what's the next step from that one.
No, you need to say it all together. It's Dana White's Power Slap. You don't just isolate the middle part. That doesn't tell the whole story. You need to
abbreviate stuff, like you say, hey, you watching what's his that Tuesday night fights or whatever, you know what I'm saying?
Contender. You watching Contender?
Yeah. You don't go. Are you watching Dana White's The Contender on Tuesday nights or whatever? You know. So this one, you go.
Saying, you got to watch Contender.
Hey, and then if I'm talking to my friends, I'm like, hey, how about that White Power, man? I love that one. I'm into that one.
But to your point, why would it? I would just say, hey, did you watch slap fighting? Did you watch the slapping less? Did you watch the slaps? Did you watch?
It don't have the same hang to it. Listen, let's agree and disagree.
I don't think that's what I would call it, though. I would think
then you're not going to be asked to come and check that one then, you know? And I'm going to tell Dana White that you're not into it somehow. But yeah, to be honest, the slap box, listen, if it was people slapping back and forth, like it was like bare knuckle fighting, but all slaps is involved, check my fucking money. I'm there with bells on. Slap boxing championships. Mwah. But that you slap me, then you slap me. It's not for me. I'm not against it, but it's not healing my bag or whatever. You know what I mean?
Okay.
That one, more power to them. I don't see a problem with that. But I can't imagine getting hyped for a card of that one.
Well, they're saying they may invest in, weight classes and things because, some of the times when we've seen these slap contests, it'll be a freak show type thing where it's a 400-pound guy against a 150-pound guy, and they want to, sanction it and have weight classes and have it be more, protected of the athletes.
Something about it loses its luster after a few slap. I mean, I want to see the technique. I want to see slap boxing technique. I used to love seeing people slap box in the street.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun because half of the fun is that it always turned into a fist fight.
Of course it did.
But guys, there's a skill to slap boxing. There was people who was like Tommy Hearns there was some heel slap boxing champions. You know what I mean? Just the one back and forth. It's like, it's they have the same luster as like watching a fucking hot dog eating contest for me. No, I'm just saying it's like, okay, I don't know. It just don't do it for me. Yeah. I'm more interested. LeBron just bought a pickleball team.
Right,
I probably like pickleball more than but I love combat sport, and if people like it, I hope it succeeds because I'm cool with it. I'm not against that one. I'm not like, don't do this. It's just, it haven't hooked me yet.
Yeah, I guess for me, it's one of those things, you know, on the one hand, sometimes you're just like, hey, look at, if we're getting people jobs, you know what I mean? Then cool, you know?
Again, I don't talk shit about nothing. Like if people want to talk shit about the WNBA or whatever, listen, I have to admit, I don't watch a lot of fucking WNBA or whatever, but I'm not going to sit here and go, oh man, why they got this? You know, like more power to them. I hope they succeed. I just, you know, but if I'm honest, I haven't got hooked on the fucking slap box. And I have to, you know why I'm saying this? Because I remember a long time ago when we was first hearing about this shit, you and I wasn't sure if it was going to be people slapping back and forth or if it was like straight up. So I was very excited. I thought it was a heel slap boxing league. And then when I found that it was like 1-for-1 or whatever, I think it would be like this. If bare knuckle fighting was, you get one, then I get one. Then you get one, then I get one. I wouldn't be as excited as if it's like boxing. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know.
Yeah, but you know, I mean, who knows? You know, since it is, you know, if it's something that Dana and the Fertitas are involved in, they'll find a way to, you know, make it sexier. So
I think that they have, listen, and by the way, there's a lot of shit that people like that is not for me. Clearly, these guys ain't stupid.
Right.
Clearly, the numbers are saying people like to watch this shit. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
If hot dog eating contest was as fucking popular, they'd be getting behind that. You know what I mean? So somehow people love this because, to be honest, I follow a lot of fucking MMA type shit on my feed. I see them slap things all the time come up on my thing. Like, you might like this. I'm like, you know, and to be honest, I click on there. Here's the problem. Here's the problem. How do you make it? Do you now not show all that stuff on my feed? Because why I gotta watch Slapboxing League if I'm just see the shit on my phone anyway in passing? You know what I'm saying? I see the exciting part anyway.
I don't know, man.
So I'm curious. I got questions here. I got questions. I'm interested, but I want to know what's going on.
I've got questions too, and that is, Honato, where can people find you?
What say, real quick, I'm curious, what say you, Fistivities audience?
About the slap boxing? Yeah, are people excited about it or no?
People said they'd rather watch a sausage fest or a kielbasa. Wait, it says slap boxers getting paid in Howler Head and Otter Pops.
Oh my God, wait, I didn't see that. Well, somebody, you know, they're saying, you know, that's where they could put Nate Diaz over there in the slap boxing.
Oh my God. Now that.
Yeah.
He would be like the Clubber Lang of that league.
Yeah.
He would be the Mike Tyson. Can you? Now that, okay. So you just found the answer. If all of a sudden I just found out that they signed him to a $10 million fight deal or some shit like that. You know how he's going for another league or whatever. If they just dumped all their money in that and just had him, that would maybe make the thing skyrocket. And that's the one thing that could make me to watch.
Well, Dean is saying he wants it like it was in New York City.
That's what I'm talking about, Dean. You know what the fuck I'm talking about. Yeah. You know I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Well, I don't think it's gonna happen, bruh.
And the Puerto Rican it would be like baseball. It'd be all Puerto Rican and Dominican kind of.
And it'd be all girls. And first we go up and we take our earrings off and we go, okay.
Listen, them girls are scary.
Totally.
There's some of those.
You got to take the door knocker earrings off, though. Like, okay.
You know how many girl fights I seen back in the day between like those girls, like Puerto Rican girl, Dominican.
Yeah, snatch the weave off and stuff.
Yeah, and sometimes when those girls was done fighting, you see jewelry with like blood on it, and you see like clumps of hair and shit, like heel.
Right?
Hair.
No, you got to go for the hair because it's either if it's real or you pull it out, and if it's not.
Skin under the fingernail, like I mean, there was some brutal. Some of those was worse than the guy fights. I was like, "Carajo, have you
acting like I've been?
Have you no shit?" You know what I mean? You're like
totally no girls be wilding.
and like a Chasmanian devil, like
right.
they throwing so many volume that you're
I
like,
know it's no technique but volume.
slow down, bitch. Like because you're like I know I could beat I could win, but there's no you just don't want to be in that situation because they're gonna be going after you like hotcakes, and if you win, you don't win. You know what I mean? You don't. There's no winning that. But
There's
then
no
you gotta protect yourself because they're coming at you like fucking.
But that's all you do is play defense. That's all.
That's what jiu-jitsu is good for. You go, Okada, you settle down. Okada, settle down. And her brother.
On that note, speaking of settling down, Honato, we should be wrapping it up. For people who got here late to the show, if you got here a little bit later here on YouTube, we did have Michael Chiesa on with us for about an hour. We had a blast with Mike. He's such a good guy. Talked about his training, his own fighting future, but we talked about some of the fights this weekend because he's fought Sean Brady, who's going to be fighting Bilal. We talked just about some, work stuff, being Italian, all kinds of stuff. His season on The Ultimate Fighter, all kinds of things. So if you missed any of that interview, you should definitely go back and check it out because we had a good time with Mike. He's a good kid.
We had a very good time. It was like wearing an old Italian blanket.
Yeah. And last week we had on Dustin Jacoby.
He's still on me
fighting next weekend. Yeah, he's fighting Khalil Roundtree, who's also a former guest of ours. So you can check out both of those shows. But we had a good time with Dustin. And I was telling folks, Honato, right as you were joining us at the beginning of the show, how I put up on our audio, we are available for audio downloads for the show. You can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon, and Stitcher. But I put up today, right before the show, the old episode that we had with Josh Barnett, which is really like a Halloween episode. Looking forward to Halloween movies and horror things and heavy metal and all that. So I wanted to make people aware that they should check that one out.
Yeah, and I'm gonna talk to. I don't know his schedule, but I'm gonna see if Josh wanna join us next week.
Yeah, so that'd be fun.
That one.
I think it could be cool to make that an annual thing. And if not, I would say we could reach out to maybe Matt Brown because I know he's way into metal too.
True. Horror movie because
I don't know, but yeah, I mean Josh is an encyclopedia of horror films and all that. That's why I think he'd be great to have on just because he gets everybody primed for Halloween. So
yeah, we gotta check that one. We gotta see because I don't know.
And I love me some Josh. We haven't talked to him in a while.
But I gotta secure him now. I should call him tonight.
Yeah, you should. He's kind of a big man. Well, he was out with Victor Henry. Unfortunately, they did not get the win, but they were just out in Vegas this past weekend. But hey,
this is early in Victor Henry career, and
Sun Sal's the real deal. So yeah,
he was fighting a guy that's marinated. Talk about marinated to perfection. He's been
totally.
I mean, he got like that. That's that thing I was saying. Same thing again. Experience, you can't. Victor Henry is doing amazing, but he just don't have as much UFC experience, and he's gonna get that. He's good enough where he's gonna be a hound for a long time, and he's gonna get the only piece that's missing is that experience.
Yeah. No, exactly. He's very young. Sun Sal's a G. He's been around forever. Yeah. And there's no shame in losing to a guy like that. You didn't get the floor, you didn't get mopped up. You know what I mean? So
no, he represented himself well. He was just in there with somebody who just an old dog who knows the he knows all the trick and this is a great experience for a painful experience, but a great experience for Victor Henry.
Yeah, I know, but it was good to see. It was good to see Josh. So we can reach out to him. We can talk to him about this fight, and we can just I would love to talk to him about the horror movies. Oh, look at that! Oh, dude, there's a lot of good stuff.
Listen.
Oh. Well, that's good for a sunset. No. What you gonna do? Hey, it's the game. It's the game.
How many fucking fights in the UFC does Victor Henry have?
Right, not many, not yet.
Yeah, he's just getting getting his sea legs in the UFC, and he's gonna make no mistake. This fucking kid's gonna be there. He's I've been knowing about him for years. I mean, Josh really put a lot of fucking time and energy into this kid. You know, he's singing the praise of Victor Henry for a long, long time.
Cool. Hey, all right, listen. So as I mentioned, the show is available for download on Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Stitcher, and Amazon. I mean, Apple Podcasts, Amazon. Did I say all those? Anyway, and if you're watching this on YouTube, please hit that subscribe button so that you can get notifications when we do this. We do this every Tuesday. But you know what, Honato? I was actually thinking because as the year winds down, I already know I only have a few work events coming up. So there's more sort of Thursdays and Fridays where I'm going to be around. And I was thinking we could maybe sometimes go back and do like, you know, a happy hour on a Thursday or a Friday.
Speak for you.
You know,
no, I'm kidding. The years
that might be fun.
For your uncle,
that might be fun to do a little happy hour.
Yeah, we'll talk about that's gonna cost double
or nothing.
That's gonna came out of your paycheck.
Okay, great. At any rate, Renato, where can people find you on the socials, on the hedges, sociais?
Well, I might as well. It's Renato _Laranja. Renato _Laranja. And on Tinder, you know, you check for me there. You can swipe I believe.
Cinnamon.
I'm on the high side. If you see me, I'm on the high. You keep me over there. Then we'll see. We'll negotiate.
Cinnamon Goodness? Is that your...
I have a couple different moniker on the different website, on the different app. But I'm available on there. So you can see some of my work on there. And on those apps, it's like the barter system. It's a give and take. It don't even cost them any money, you know? Okay. It's just, you know, it's a mutual, the feeling.
Well, in fact, I did a little survey the other day on the internet there on the Twitter about the dating apps, saying that, you know, I've been told I'm supposed to get on one if I want any dates, and I don't want to get on one. And I believe the stats were almost equivalent of the amount of people who said they hate them and will never do them versus the ones who said, like, I hate it, but I have to do it. Like, it sucks, but it's necessary. You know what I mean? And there was only like literally like only like 8 or 10% of people were like, I love them. You know what I mean? Most people know it's a necessary evil, and or they're just not going to get involved.
I'm going to tell you something, Karyn Bryant. I appreciate you trepidation about these things. And I understand it's not that I don't understand where you're coming from. I understand. It's not lost on me, okay? Right. I look at it like this. The old Hanach, it used to be like, I had to be like Hickey Homer, or Machine Levine, you know, in Glenn Garrett's house to bring it full circle. It's cold calling, caralho. You understand? So it's like knocking on the door and saying, look, I have Rio Rancho properties to sell you. Okay.
Right.
Now, if I see some person that's cute, I see a chick in Whole Food or on Huntington Canyon or on any number of fucking places, walking the street. I don't know, if she's single. I don't know if she's straight. I don't know if she's into even remotely any of the
stuff. So you'd rather shoot fish in a barrel on an app?
Well, not fishes in a barrel. All this does, because eventually you have to have that experience. There's nothing you could be online all you want. Eventually you're going to have to come face to face, or at least you're going to have to get on the phone. You're going to have to do one of those steps. So you're going to have, before you pull the trigger on an actual date or actual hanky-pankies and stuff like that, you're going to have some human contact, not unlike you would be at the bus stop or the fucking Whole Food, whatever. So all this is doing is filtering through the stuff that's a waste of both of your time. Now, the woman who's gay in a relationship, don't date good-looking Brazilian guys, whatever you take your pick, maybe hates rap music, or is a early bird or early Heiser and a Mormon, or I don't know, whatever, all these kind of stuffs. We filtering out the stuffs that's a waste of all of our time, and we're getting to who is more likely and also likely to fuck with you. Now hey, this person at least matched with me. That means that I think
I get it. You're whittling down the field and you're making it seem like there'll be more likely.
Yes.
A more likely yes.
Of course, there's still a whole lot of duds. Out of that process, there's still sediment. You know what I mean? You have to filter that even more.
I just have a feeling those apps are way better for dudes than they are for girls. I have a feeling you'll meet way more girls that you'd be interested in than I would meet guys I'd be interested in.
I can neither confirm or deny that because I don't have the facts. I don't have I cannot say you hung, but I cannot say you high either.
Well, it doesn't matter because I'm not going to do them anyway.
And that's fine. And again, you can lead a
solitary life. Yeah, I know.
No, I was gonna say you can lead a donkey to Alizé, but you can't make that one to think.
Oh boy. On that note, folks, so you can find him on the Tinder, on the Match.com, on the OnlyFans, on the
Pasta Farmers Only. Hillshire Farmers Only.
Oh, I'm told I can go to church to meet people, all kinds of stuff.
You wanna? Oh, you know where people go to? You want to really meet some people but you don't want to have sex. So, but for guys who have no scruple, you can pretend you are recovering alcoholic.
Oh no!
And you can go to like AA meeting or Al-Anon or any of that.
I thought you weren't supposed to date for a year in those though.
Oh no! So here's what if you was a person with no scruple, you'll go there because sober women. They drink a lot of coffee, and unfortunately, they can sometimes smoke cigarette. But
they need to replace the addiction with something else.
Yeah, they like to fuck. So they can become obsessive. They can become like a sex addict. So if you was the type, but then again, just like you said about the guy, that's not your bag. You're not looking for guys want to fuck anyway. So that's more of a loophole for unscrupulous men to take advantage. I think you need to go. Oh, good idea.
To Europe.
If you think guys want to fuck you now, if you think that's all guys want to do now, in Europe, you're going to have the guys who are going to go, oh, good
idea. Anyway, listen, you can find me not on Tinder or Match or whatever, but
Bumble. Pick that one. Oh, that's the one for you. That's the women-centric one. That's like the feminist one because you only is in your crotch. The bowels is in your crotch.
Yeah, I've seen my friends on that one, and it yeah. I'd rather.
One question. I'm still gonna sell you. I have no stake in this, by the way. I don't own any of these companies. I'm only because I care about you, Karyn Bryant. If one of your tennis buddies or whatever goes, honey child, I have the perfect guy for you. He's whatever. He's half Haitian, half Greek. He's child, dark, handsome. He's all this fucking shit you like, whatever, okay? He like all this fucking stupid shit that you like, okay? Now, would you consider going out on a date with the fucking guy?
If my friend set me up?
Sight unseen, your friend is like, listen, and she shows you a couple pictures.
Yeah, if my friend set me up, I would consider it.
So, now, what's the difference if it's the same guy, you've seen a couple pics, You see, you know,
because they're accountable, because the person knows somebody you know.
but at the same time, as nice as she said, he could also be a dud. Like, you could go to the date and you guys have zero chemistry for whatever reason. You don't.
I get it. You're saying it's the same. I get it. You're saying the odds are the same, or the.
It's kind of the same stuff, because a guy of that caliber could also, doesn't mean he's a loser or a weirdo or a sex addict if he's on these apps. I mean, it's kind of a normal.
Wait, but I guess I don't like also on those apps where they're like, link up your this profile, link up this, tell me everything about your such and such life, tell me how much money you make, tell me how much like screw you. No,
that's like OK Cupid, and that's on those other Chinda. They don't ask you none of that shit. Bumble,
I wouldn't. I don't know.
All it says is like, it would be like, here's what all you do. You have a couple cute pictures of you selfie, okay, and then it goes like, what's your age, which you could lie about. I don't know.
Yeah, 32.
Where you based out of, you know, LA, and then you put like most of the shit is like just a bio, like, hey, ha ha ha, laugh out loud. I thought this was I was against these fucking things, but fuck it, I'm giving it a shot. I'm into fucking playing Chinese, talking shit to my friends about people, being a heel ball buster.
Yeah, exactly. What's in my bio?
And you say a couple key things, like something about a niche TV show you watch or a band you like, yeah. And then some guy who's really got on the ball, who's for you, is gonna put like in your DM, gonna put like the answer, like something very inside baseball about whatever you talk about, and you're gonna go, you know about such and such, so and so, and he's gonna be like, not only do I know that, boom, this, and then he shows you a picture with him and the lead singer of whatever stupid fucking band you like, and then you're gonna go, what? I thought I was the only. God, are you? You know what? Hey, what the hey? Let's go. Yeah, let's fuck. That's what it boiled down to.
How many steps? Like, how many licks to the inside of a Tootsie Roll? How many texts to Let's F?
How much fucking things does he have to wow you about, or how many times do you have to make you giggle before you check your panties off? And only you know the answer to that.
Only I know.
But at the end of the day, whether it's Prince Charming or Joe Blow, they all
Harry Styles or Jason Sudeikis.
Harry Styles or Harry Dean Stanch or Harry Stock, whatever the fuck is the guy's name, Harry Connick Jr. It don't matter. Harry and the Hendersons, they all want the same fucking thing. He want Bigfoot pussy or whatever. It don't matter. Every guy, it boiled down to whether he take you to Joe's Crab Shack or whatever fucking fancy fucking, you know, what's that, Matsuhisa, whatever's the fucking.
Oh, that's good.
Whatever's any of that. At the end of the day, they interested to make love to you, and hopefully they want to do it a couple times before they get rid of you.
Wow. Get rid of me. I didn't think you were going to say that. I thought you were going to say a couple times before.
I was,
you know, he fell asleep cuddling me in his arms and whispering sweet nothings while we looked off at the coast of, you know, Positano or something.
Well, you're going to be looking off the coast of Positano, but I'm not going to be there. I'm not there in that scenario, that part.
I know you're not.
That's when you turn a hand and you go like this. You go, and you parse, your shit is missing and stuff. Your fucking credit cards is gone. But you had a great story to tell your girlfriend.
I got a story to tell. And one of my heels is broken, so I got to just rip the heel off the other one, and now they're flats.
Exact. Listen, you could do worse, Don't worry. I'm gonna help you.
Okay. Yeah. So, at any rate, so on the social media, KB Heat on Instagram, Karyn Bryant on Twitter and YouTube, Karyn. Bryant as in Kobe, no relation, but may he rest in peace. please also, you can look at fistivities.com. That's where you can see all of these shows. There are 56 episodes of this show. If you're watching this on YouTube, please subscribe. And you can also download episodes on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, and Amazon Music. I mean, look, we're making it available for you.
Yeah, would it fucking kill you to subscribe me? I know some of you fucking people is not subscribed. Subscribe, God, let me caralho.
Exactly. Exactly.
I mean,
and if you like the show, please tell your friends. You know, a lot of the other shows out there have major companies behind them that can buy lots of advertising. And really, we only have ourselves and you guys to help get the word out. But we have a lot of fun with you every week. And I think you guys have fun with us. So if you can help spread the word, that would be pretty cool.
Us even than we have with them. And you know what? Even if you don't like the show, just do it anyway. Porra. Just subscribe. For fuck's sake.
At any rate, folks, thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate it. Love having you guys. That's right. Hit that like button. And yeah, I do post some provocative pictures on my Instagram every now and then. All right. Anyway, thank you guys so much for being here. And yeah, we'll see you on the next one.
Okay. Ciao, everyone.